Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Absolute Women's Football Podcast for our Euro 2025 review. We've been live the whole tournament, and now we're finally getting to wrap it all up. And it feels like, I was going to say it feels like yesterday. No, it feels like the whole tournament that we have indeed covered for you. And everyone in the chat has been there with us, so thank you once again. Over the tournament, which we brought to you in partnership with the whole 115 yards, of course, we brought to you nearly 50 hours of live coverage, over 80 goals scored in regular time, multiple shouts of disbelief, various swear words and inhuman noises, and ultimately one European trophy came right back home with the Lionesses, and we couldn't be prouder, of course. Tonight, I'm joined by the lovely Paul, who has been a wonderful constant throughout the tournament. And fantastically, we've got our Chloe Bear back for this evening to talk all things football, because we've missed you, Chloe. So how are you both, first of all?
Yeah, good. I've had a very exciting day.
Clang.
I was going to say, do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
I do. I got the incredible opportunity to interview our court today, our lovely Courtney Brosnan, and that happened, and I'm still in disbelief that I actually did that and it happened. But amazing, fantastic.
Did you refer to her as our court?
I didn't actually.
Hello, our court. How you doing?
I didn't actually. I nearly did a couple of times. I was like, no, do you know what? Can't do it. And I'm like, she's so lovely. Like, she's so nice, and I love her even more now.
Good. And these opportunities, because obviously talking about kind of the summer and pre-season and what's to come this season as well. So it's nice for them, I think, as well, to kind of talk about when the focus isn't on the national teams and the tournaments and stuff. It's actually back to them and clubs. So it was, a brilliant opportunity. And of course, once it's published and all written up, then can't wait to read it either.
Thanks. I'll share it all around when it's done.
Yes, I was going to say, remember to follow Chloe on all her socials so you can read that one when it's out. And of course, good evening to everyone in the chat. We've got hey, Matt, you were first in the chat this evening, 8:30 give or take, as well. Time for Team Chaos. Yes, evening to Graham. Good evening to Chris, who's been fantastic all tournament. Evening to Josh. Evening to Paul. Evening to Johnny. And thank you so much again for joining us all throughout. So let's get going, shall we? So what I thought we could do for the format this evening, we all picked ones to watch. Those of you who watched our preview show will know this. And what I thought we could do is go through all of our ones to watch, starting with the players and the teams that unfortunately got grouped, and then work our way through to the final. And we'll talk about teams and results and key moments as we go. And then, of course, we can get to share our favourite moments of the tournament. And ultimately, we need to build our team of the tournament. So in the chat, if there's anyone you particularly want to see in the team of the tournament, put them in now, and we'll take that into consideration for when we build it. But as always, get your thoughts in the chat and come and join us. So shall we start with the teams that unfortunately did not make it out of the group stages? We'll start with Group D now.
We'll make Paul look stupid to start because he hasn't done it enough over the previous 50 hours.
Well, no, because this was a weird one, wasn't it? Because we were picking these ones to watch knowing what they've previously done for their country, what their current form is at club, their potential. That's what we were looking at, weren't we, as potential? And Paul, you chose Lenneth Berenstein and Elise Hughes. Now, if we have a look at some stats, Lenneth, unfortunately...
Because I don't think Elise Hughes played. I think
she did. 10 minutes.
Yes! And they were the best 10 minutes a Welsh striker played in the entire tournament. And I told you she was amazing. And if they played her more than 10 minutes, they'd have got out of the group.
Because that's it. Well, let's start with Elise Hughes while we're there. So of course, those of you who watch us during the league, during the season, you will, of course, know that Elise Hughes ruptured her ACL. So huge injury last April. Not April just gone, April before, just let everyone know. And her coming back from injury, this tournament was a real motivation. It was a real push. And she came on in match day 3 as a sub for Fionn Morgan, who else, to play the last 11 minutes of a tournament. But Paul, ultimately, managing to come back from such an injury, that's incredible for her to do that, right?
Thank you for giving me some desperate excuse to find something positive, because I was there like the whole time. I was like, yeah, I probably should have gone with the obvious and picked Jess Fishlock for this one. Like,
yeah, because as we know, Jess Fishlock, icon, legend.
Icon, legend. One of my favourite moments of the Euros. It wasn't one of my favourite moments of the Euros as well. Jess Fishlock scoring for Wales, of course.
Yeah.
That seemed to be
because of course their first major tournament, first qualification. So anything they did was going to be better than ever before and was going to set the bar for next time.
At 38 years old, so there's still hope for me. I'm only a couple of years older than her.
Hey,
you know, next World Cup.
Next World Cup, mate, you'll be there.
To be clear, for England men, not one of these. Oh, you know, I might put a wig on and go and say I can play for the, you know, all that crap. Very much for the men.
I was going to say, we all know you better than that. Don't worry.
But what is pleasing, yeah, like you say, for any player to come back from an ACL is a big thing. And we had several players coming back from ACLs and feared ACLs in this tournament, and several big players missing.
Yes.
Like Lena Oberdorf for Germany, for example.
Yeah.
Who was a huge miss.
Absolutely.
And for Elise Hughes to come back, and it just makes me sad that she got that ACL, because because both for Crystal Palace last season in the WSL and for Wales at the Euros, she could have been such a major contributor, because obviously with 20 goals for Crystal Palace in the Championship the season before, she did her ACL to get them promoted. And we said when she got that, oh, that's a massive loss. And she really could have been huge. And she's just much better than Hannah Kane, who did score. And it was a very nice goal for Hannah Kane against England. England had already scored 4 at that point. But
hey, all counts.
But hey, you know, the Welsh enjoyed it. You know, and we've had far too many rugby matches where England have scored consolation tries and against the Welsh. So
yeah,
suffered a few of those. But yeah, it's Elise Hughes is very much a what could have been. And I admit I took a bit of a gamble on her and picked her out because I thought Jess Fishlock was the obvious pick, and everyone was just going to kind of go, yeah, we know. And obviously, like you're fond of saying, one of the things we love to do on this podcast is kind of shine the light a bit more on the people who aren't the obvious picks who everyone else goes for. And on reflection, I probably should have gone for Fionn Morgan if I'd wanted to do that, who it was announced today has joined West Ham as well.
Yeah, what a sign of West Ham.
Plucking her away. And I just think, I hope Elise Hughes this season gets back to her full strength.
And shows, everyone what we've been
and we get vindicated, and I can spend most of the championship season going, see, this is the Elise Hughes that I hoped we'd see at the Euros.
Yes, exactly. And it's that potential we were looking for. But Wales, just to kind of summarize in general, although they, obviously didn't make it out of the group stages and they didn't finish last, we said during the live streams, for those that did follow us and did watch along with us, that they never looked out of it. They never looked defeated. They never looked like, oh, they're trying their best. Like, they were in every single game, weren't they? Right till the end.
They were, and crucially, Megan Feringa for the Athletic, who was writing for Wales. If you haven't had the chance to read Megan's articles, and you have got access to the Athletic, go and read them, every single one of them, because the way she writes about Wales at the tournament is utterly incredible. It's the way I admit I'm a bit biased because I like the kind of lyrical writing that has, you know, classical references and a bit of descriptive language and tries to convey the whole feeling of being there rather than your stereotypical talking point, fairly cold stuff, or just your bog standard writing. And Megan's definitely goes on that. But her last article writing about the way the Welsh fans hung around, even though they'd been beaten 6-1, and were still singing an hour and a half in the stadium and had to have the stadium employees turn the lights off in order for them to leave.
I mean,
what it means to Wales and what it means to Jess Fishlock and what the goal meant. It's superb writing, and she says it far better than me. And I think that she really captured, like people are saying in the chat, the whole point of Wales this time around was being there.
Yes.
And they were there, and they weren't out of games. And ultimately, they had their moment.
And they also scored goals.
Lots
of teams were struggling this tournament to get balls in the back of the net. And they got 2, which was very, very hard to do, especially in that group.
Yeah. I mean, they were given a practice, you know, they were written off completely. And they were in the group of death. And at that point, everybody pretty much went, okay, Wales are out. It's all about how well they do.
Yeah, it was like a free hit, wasn't it, at the end of the day?
And Jess Fishlock had her moment. A legend of the game finally got her moment at a major tournament.
Yes.
For her nation. Yeah. After 20 years of toil and triumph and stuff. And genuinely, it sounds silly, but it puts me in mind. The only thing I can compare it to in my head, there's a very famous ice hockey player called Ray Bourque, who played for 20 odd years in the NHL, and Swedish chef, of course. But he was one of the best players of his generation at his position as a defender, you know, Hall of Fame defender, very, very famous, played in Boston for many, many years, never won a Stanley Cup, won a whole bunch of other stuff, individual awards, but never won what's considered the highest award in ice hockey. In the final 2 years of his career, he moved to a team that was generally considered that they were going to win the cup, because in ice hockey you get a lot of things where people will have their last run at it and they'll go to a team that is expected to have a good chance to win it.
Yeah.
He lost in the semi-finals and basically turned around and said, right, I'm not retiring. At the age of 40, I want one more year. And in his final game in his ice hockey career was a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final elimination game, because they're best of 7. And he won this, and Colorado won, and he was in tears. And basically, the captain took the cup, and rather than lifting it himself, handed it straight over. And after 21 years, he finally got his moment. And just Fishlock scoring and celebrating was kind of like that.
Yeah.
Because as she was herring towards the Welsh bench, celebrating, you were just like, you could see the 20 years of effort she put in for the moment where she was finally getting to celebrate scoring for Wales at a major tournament.
Yeah, getting recognition on that European stage finally for all her efforts. And, you know, because the Welsh team, we spoke about it at the time, but they've had to fight so much for this opportunity to get there. So like everyone's saying in the chat, you know, they had such a good go of it. They were unlucky. Probably if they were in a different group, we said if they were in Group A, maybe things might have been a bit different. But unfortunately, it was just the wrong draw. But they fought every single second, and Jess Fishlock having her moment was fantastic. And speaking of Wales, Lily Woodham, of course, signed for Liverpool the other day. Cracking signing for Liverpool, especially when things started to look a bit worrying Liverpool-wise, without the manager, with players leaving, and you think, what's next? But clearly, it's a good project because Lily Woodham is signing up to it. So watch this space.
And also, that was a heartwarming story of her mum was happier than she was because her mum is a born and bred Liverpool fan.
Hey, you do anything to keep your parents happy. But no, I think she'll be. We saw how tenacious she was in this tournament, so I think she's going to fit in very, very well indeed. We mentioned her a little bit, Paul, but we need to talk about her. Lyneth, good old Lyneth. She was quite invisible this tournament, wasn't she? In the best possible sense. We know her to be such an attacking threat, and I think this reflects on the Netherlands as a whole, doesn't it? This tournament, there was lots of.
They had a really bad one, didn't they?
They had a really bad tournament. We all said there's one team, didn't we? There's always one team. We hoped it wasn't going to be England, but yeah, the Netherlands.
Convinced it was going to be France, ironically. Until the opening games.
Well, France usually get so far and then have a stinker, don't they? But Netherlands there was a lot of talk and a lot of unrest with the coach and the management leading up to the tournament. Players clearly weren't happy. Players playing a bit out of position as well. I was having a look when I was doing a bit of research for tonight. She came on for Miedema against Wales, and she was subbed on for Jill Roord against England, but she started against France, playing as a centre forward instead of on the right wing. So do you think players being in slightly different positions and the formation not quite working, do you think that hindered it, or do you think it was just a general tournament to forget?
I think it hindered it, and I think she wasn't used effectively.
No.
Because we said before the tournament when I picked her, I said, people focus on Miedema as the creative force and the goal scorer.
Mm.
But if you play her behind the battering ram that is Berenstein, who's the player who makes all the space, holds the ball up, or whatever.
Yeah.
And we saw it when she played as centre forward against France. The Netherlands were a different team all of a sudden, and they actually turned up. Unfortunately for the Netherlands, France really turned up. But
no, they did. They did, unfortunately. And Netherlands, they did enough to get third in that group, and it was always going to be a case of, well, which two were just going to edge the other one out of that group D. And yeah, just unfortunately, it just really wasn't the tournament for the Netherlands. But thankfully for them, it is over, and they can just look forward to the World Cup, of course, in 2027.
And of course, they have a manager with a history of winning now, because they have Arjan Verink, who has been Serena Wiedmann's assistant manager for, I believe, all three of her victories.
I think that sounds correct.
Firstly for the Netherlands, and then she brought him with her to England.
Oh, well, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Could it now be England versus Netherlands for that next title again?
It could be the pupil that becomes the master. Full on flipping Star Wars going on.
Well, people were saying, weren't they? Since 2012, it's either been the Germany or Serena Wiedmann. That's won the Euros, which is a ridiculous stat, but true. And it shows, as much as some of us may have doubted Serena's choices at times, clearly knows what she's doing. Clearly knows indeed. Yes, Ryan's in there. Hi, Ryan. Netherlands, for all the talent they have, really underperformed. Yeah.
Kerry has taken great joy in reminding me that I had a fear that England were going to get grouped. Since last
we all had a fear. It was a bit emotional roller coaster being an England fan. And look where we ended up. So, see, we were good to have that fear. It's fine. Now we're going to go on to Group C next. Chloe, you actually chose these two. We had Natalia Padilla-Bidas and Sarah Hongard as well. Now, unfortunately, again, both teams didn't make it out of the groups. However, if we start with Poland, debutantes in the tournament, I've got some stats on Padilla-Bidas as well. But were you impressed with how Poland, a bit similar to Wales, came out and really, really showed what they were made of?
Yeah, I was quite surprised, and to be fair, I think they did well. Like they came out fighting, and you know what? I thought they actually could have. Ooh, doorbell. Think-
It is live. That's mine and Kerry's dinner. That is lemon chicken. Always,
Ooh, lovely.
Good shout. Share with the group. Share with the group.
always lemon chicken if we have a Chinese. You know.
Lemon
No,
chicken
I was quite surprised with Poland. Like I thought they did quite well, to be honest. Like they did surprise us. They unfortunately obviously didn't do enough, but no, I thought they were good. To be fair, they did get some points as well, which I don't think anyone was expecting them to do. I mean, I literally have written everyone off. I wrote England off just for the first game, can't lie. So I did write, but I've got a full story about this. It's quite fun. Claiming I'm a fan now, but did write them off. No, I'm
Big fan of
like, have you seen my top? Hello, Big fan FC calling. No, to be fair, Poland did get some points on the board, and they did well for debutants, and I think they were also like a relatively new team as well. Not a new team, but a lot of new names and new faces within the squad trying to like work together and type thing. But no, I think they did well, and I'm quite excited to see how far they can go. Like World Cup 2027, Brazil, let's go.
Yeah, but should we do a pod outing to Brazil? That'd be quite good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go. We'll hire the Lionesses plane, and we'll just go out there.
We'll do a
Speaking of
Scott and
Lionesses
hijack it.
I've got to. This is how slow I am. It took me until Monday afternoon to realise that the wrap on the side of the plane had left the little bar across the horizontal bar out of home deliberately. I just thought it was really, really bad printing.
No, it's a 2. It's a 2. I'm gonna drop Georgie in it now. I'm sorry, Georgie. She saw the same thing and went, "What's 11 got to do with it?" So it's okay.
I bet if they win the next one, they'll do that really annoying thing that people are doing now of pretending a 3 is an E, even though it's the wrong way round and looks nothing like one.
Ah, yes.
You do
Yeah.
in textbook.
Coming home with a 3.
Coming home with a 3.
We've written it now. That's what it is. Yeah, because talking about Natalia Badiabidas as well. So she started match day 1. Really good start. She was a second half sub in match day 2, but match day 3 was where Poland really came alive, because that was the ding dong of the round, wasn't it? So that was Poland versus Denmark, and that was the one. Paul, I think me and you were watching the other game, and Adam was with us, and he was watching that one, and that was the game where it was goal, VAR, no goal, goal, no.
There were some cracking reactions. That was the one where the second Polish goal was an absolute howler from Maya Bay, and Adam reacted to it and went, "Oh no, that's a howler," and I was like, "Turn over, we've got to see this." And then we were randomly talking to it, and Adam was talking, and I saw it and actually screamed in pain. It was like full on, "Oh no!" Like, and Adam goes, "Oh, you've seen it then?"
Yeah. There's the delay. But yeah, so in that game then, so just for anyone who didn't manage to witness it, the timeline looked a little bit like this. Goal for Poland, Natalia Padilla. Goal for Poland, Eva Pajol, assisted by Natalia Padilla. Then it was goal, Denmark, Yanni Thompson. Assist, Sarah Holmgaard, who we're also going to talk about. Then no goal, VAR review, Denmark goal ruled out. Goal, Poland, assisted by Natalia Padilla. She was having a cracking game. She was on fire. Then we had another goal for Denmark, And luckily that one went through. So it did finish 3-2, but that was Poland's first point of the tournament as well. So they didn't finish bottom, which again, for a team that didn't have any expectations coming in, was pretty damn good for them. And like you said, new names coming through now that people are going to recognize and go, right, I want to follow that person, their team during the season, and hopefully, like you said, it's a team that we are going to see again. Now, talking about, we've got to go to the other side of the draw. Sarah Holmgaard, who of course fan favorite, Chloe favorite from Everton, but with the face, we'll try and not talk about too much. But the tournament Sarah Holmgaard had, do you want to talk about her performance?
No.
Yeah.
I was going to get the violin. One for the chat in the sad songs in Radio 1 in the 90s where they have to say.
No, she was really good, wasn't she? I haven't actually prepared any notes today, guys. So you've just got vibes. I'm normally very on it, but I've had a busy day. I interviewed Courtney Broughton, and I'm interviewing Leanne Kernan tomorrow. If I haven't mentioned yet,
You should have mentioned that.
Hey, you're a busy lady.
I've had a busy life. I haven't prepped. I'm just coming back. I'm just coming here with pure vibes and a little bit of chat. To be honest.
Vibes and chat. Hey, you watch the matches. I'll prompt you. You just have a little chat.
You've got the Nikki Boucher approach to it. Just pure vibes.
Just figured honesty is the best policy, isn't it? That I'm not prepared. I'm here.
Pure vibes in Glastonbury, and I'm trying to remember what AI said. What AI designed all the features. Chloe is all of those features.
All in one swirl that looked like a shell. And also,
essentially,
anyway.
do you know
So,
in like Laura, do you know in like a film when something bad happens to the main character, so they go back to like the little old country farm with a suitcase? That is me coming to this podcast today. I'm here with my little suitcase in a dream. Like,
so we're basically in a Hallmark movie. So you've just lost your job in New York, and you've gone back to a small town for the Christmas market, and you're going to meet some big tall farmer who you used to go to school with, but was ugly and no one liked, and has had a glow up.
That's me turning up today. Just pure
He now owns like a fancy coffee shop in a town full of 50 people, but apparently has loads of money.
I'm just here for the vibe.
Closed early to take you out on the date. Yeah. No.
Closed home for Christmas. Like.
I've turned up for the vibes and just to tell you about how good my life is. So,
I was going to say she's going to leave in a minute and just.
I don't know Matt's like Chloe talking about Sarah Holmgaard like she's talking about somebody who's died.
It's really sad. Imagine me when our court actually leaves Everton. I'd actually think I'd like.
Well, hopefully it never happens and we don't have to have that conversation.
Better not, because I think that might actually be the day that I'm
retire, except she'll just become assistant manager for Brian.
Yes.
The pair of
them. No. She can stay on as goalkeeper coach.
No, the way she was actually talking about him made my heart so happy. Like, I was like, oh, Courtney. Yeah, Sarah Holmgaard.
Not an Everton player anymore. I picked her because she was an Everton player. She buggered off to Real Madrid. She was shit. Move on.
Sorry, she'll be great at Real Madrid though. But no, I think she had a great tournament. She turned a sister once again. Not to a sister, a sister. Her sister was there, but
in the middle of the pitch, she just turned to her sister. And they started a dance routine.
Why has nobody not taken the sister theme and just put Karen and Sarah Holmgaard playing football?
Oh dear. Yeah, we need to make that. With all the time we now have, because no football.
What do we do?
Why is that not happening? And Kerry just goes, because not everybody is 43 years old and a bit sad.
I didn't say you were sad. I said you were old.
Oh, that's all right then.
No, we love sister. But yes, she did. She turned provider. Yes, very good. Good contribution.
I don't
Right?
have any more. I've got more. I'm bringing
Did one thing
vibes.
that I was very proud of.
Does she take corners for Denmark as well, though?
Yeah,
She does.
sometimes.
There you go.
Centre back. See, a centre back taking a corner is just wrong. Like,
No,
it's
I
one
think
of those. She's good at it, but it's
great.
She needs to move to left back or something.
According to
her
Football,
and Karen
that's-
are the
that's
same
definitely-
position, so it's like it's tough for who plays like the midfield and then who is the other side because they've got the exact same. That's why our Brian used to have a headache over who started and who came on because they never. It was very rare they played at the same time. So they played the same position just to complicate things even more. Twins playing the same position. Who would?
Do you reckon they ever played as each other? So like
Oh,
they put the team sheet down as everything, and then like 15 minutes in the game, Brian's sat there. Karen, get up the field. I am
No,
Karen. That is Sarah.
No, because I said to Freya that when after Karen got the red card in the derby, what if when Sarah got the red card in the derby, what if it's actually her playing for the week after? Like, what if one plays the first half and the other plays the second half? Just as like Sarah's on the first half and then they just swap shirts and it's actually Karen the second half, but she's still wearing like the S home guard shirt. Like that'd be.
They never appear to get tired. It's like they've played half the minutes of everybody else. They've got twice the fitness.
Is it me or is Karen just looking a little bit taller? Like
She's
her hair's different.
Why she changed the ponytail? Is that a choice? Is that a superstition at half time? Like,
No, I really enjoyed watching Sarah Homegarden, and yeah, she created some. She was great assists, great passes. I miss her lots, and I want her back already. But we still got Karen, so that'll be fine. But miss Sarah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no.
just the reaction meme of Chloe sat there like, feel like shit. Just wants our home guard back.
Literally me.
I just want her back. But yeah, no, she assisted Yanni Thompson's goal in match day 3. And, stats wise, that's the only thing that's going to flag up. But we know what she can do in defence. We know how much of a contributor she is to the team. So overall, still happy you picked both of those, Chloe, as ones to watch?
Yep, no, as Dappy once said, no regrets.
Wow, a Dappy reference.
And also, to not show my age, I'm 25, so that is not even my
youngest on here right now, and you're making a Dappy reference.
Not even my genre.
You know what Dappy's favourite number is?
What?
9.
Yeah, my apologies. We always start the podcast and then we go off on a tangent, but we're back. We'll be back.
Hey, I've already declared I'm here for the vibes. Like I've just.
For people who haven't watched before, this is what happens.
Yeah, this is what happens. But we always finish eventually. And as Chris always says, #Team Chaos. Yes, because what's the point in a boring podcast? Hey, we'll always bring the fun. Now,
that's counter-pressed. Anyway.
Sorry. No shade. So Matt's saying, I thought Dappy's favourite number was number 1. Well,
I thought that was Tinchy Strider, he said, showing his knowledge of
N-Dubs featuring Tinchy Strider.
Or was it?
N-Dubs.
Yeah. Because
in
now
fairness, he did sing the chorus and Tinchy Strider did a shit rap, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm singing the beginning bit in my head now. That's kind of how it's going.
Just another fun little reference. Talisa and Gary Barlow's feud on the X Factor is My Roman Empire about. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Just a moment on Tulisa. Do you remember every time she came on the stage and she showed her tattoo, and that was like her power pose of girl boss? Yeah.
Oh, good. We should do that and write our own and live lovely. Yeah.
I've actually got. You'd see it upside down, but like that's my Talisa pose. Can't quite hold it because for some reason my arm.
Oh God, we should do it. Our topical tags. The beginning of every
episode. Live lovely.
I've got first law of Satanism on my arm.
In medieval French.
In medieval French, because
Like a
I'm a
twat.
poser or a twat.
Let's stick with Paul. We love you, Paul. It's okay.
Oh,
So
I do love him, but I think
For
was
those
gonna
of you who haven't seen the podcast before, or perhaps new to the podcast, this is Chloe. No, this isn't Chloe. That's Chloe. That's Chloe.
oh,
Whoa.
I'm going to go and turn the light on now. Back in 5 minutes. Call the police.
yeah, I was going to say, and that was the end of Paul as we knew him. And we wish him
That's a
well.
clip, that is.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, so for those who haven't seen the pod before, in the background of Paul is his lovely partner, Kerry, who has some cracking one-liners that we love and appreciate her for.
After England equalised against Italy, just informing nearly 1,000 people, fuck my arse! Or was that Sweden? That might have been Sweden.
I don't remember.
Where's it? It's just all blurs into one at this point, doesn't it? So this is why we're trying to. I have no idea.
I love how everybody in the chat has now decided I'm dead. Like, just
Divorce incoming. Paul was never seen again.
Oh no, someone thought I was dead at work
just all the
yesterday.
men in the chat know what's happening. They're just all there like, no.
Someone thought I died at work yesterday. It was quite funny.
You died.
Yeah.
You
no,
can't just drop that. Someone
how
thought
soon
I
did
died
you
at
move
work.
There's a fun story, but I went. So we basically have like the pub and then a restaurant where I work, and there's like a kitchen dividing them. I didn't want to go upstairs for staff toilets, so I went round to the like the posh toilets, as we call them, to have a posh wee. And I was just sat on my phone because I don't like smoke or anything, but I wanted like my 10 minutes, like they get. So I wanted my 10 minutes. So I just sat in the toilet for 10 minutes. And because there was no sound and no movement, someone knocked on the door and was like, "Are you okay in there? Do you need any help? Are you dead?" And I'm like, "No, perfectly alive, thank you. I'm just having TikTok time." And she went to like one of the restaurant staff and was like, "Are you missing a staff member? I think someone's died in the toilets." And I was just sat there on my phone for 10 minutes because I just needed a break. And she thought I was dead.
That's fantastic.
I'm fine. I'm just having TikTok time.
That's a 24 hours. Today I interviewed one of my favourite ever players and fangirls. Yesterday, someone thought I was dead.
Oh,
Emily's literally just come into the chat just in time for yesterday. I went.
I'm like,
Hello,
I mean, I nearly died today interviewing Courtney, but yesterday someone did think I was dead.
I'll bet Emily will have a question for Leanne Kiernan, by the way, as a proud Liverpool fan.
I literally
Yes.
just wanted a posh wee, like, and someone thought I died.
Oh dear. Aled, we haven't even made it into Group B yet, mate. Gonna be here a while.
Is a posh wee sparkling? Is it like champagne? It's sparkling.
Yeah. No, it's just a posh restaurant. It's just a restaurant's really posh. So we just call it a posh wee as opposed to our like pub wee.
Yeah, poor
Or the staff wee and the staff toilets, but I didn't want to go. I couldn't be bothered going upstairs.
You're
Oh,
really
Chloe.
struggling, Paul. I think you need to see a
Living
doctor.
life.
I couldn't be bothered going up the stairs, so I just went.
Merch, please. Just hashtag posh wee.
Hashtag posh wee. Educating the nation about my antics at work.
I mean,
If your piss is fizzy, mate, seek medical advice.
there we go. That's if you take one thing away from this podcast, everybody.
No. Matt remembers the exact quote. Everyone will remember Kerry's reaction when she called England the jammiest set of bastards to ever kick a football.
She just sat here nodding away.
Yeah, she's like, "Yep, proud of that one." However, while we're on it,
Group
the
A.
fact that award-winning, ladies and gentlemen. No, so
Award-winning posh wee.
where Alan said, "Have we talked about our best players and moments from the Euros?" No, we haven't. So get them in the chat, and we'll compare them right at the end. Okay, so we're going through all of our ones to watch first. We're talking about our teams, and then we're going to get onto our favourite moments. There is a plan. I have an outline. I have made notes. Okay.
We've already ruined it with Posh Wheeze and Chloe dying.
And then Paul and Chloe turn up and just start talking about it.
Hey, I've made it very clear at the start. I'm here for the vibes only.
Speaking of which,
I'm here to
is the next
entertain the
group Posh
nation.
B?
Just like this.
Oh God. Oh, you know, you try so hard to keep it online, and just no.
Just a supercut of Freya going, oh, for Christ's sake.
Paul is asking a very serious question. Do you get a free quinoa when you do a posh week?
Oh, it's a very good shout. We should do. It's like the posh Italian restaurant, so it's like a garlic bread of bolognese.
Yeah, but how disturbing would that be if someone was just like, "Excuse me, quinoa," in the toilets?
You're mid-flow and someone offers you a bruschetta. Look.
Oh, the bruschetta's lovely.
Want some olive oil with
Talking, madam. It's over the top. Apparently,
normally
you're telling your rosy vibes tonight.
Yeah, I'd just like to add for people who are new here, I am actually normally quite more prepared than this.
She's not.
Whoa! I was about to say then Freya can vouch for me that I'm normally prepared.
No, I just did it.
That was a chair shot. That was like the
No,
shield.
Chloe is normally very good with her notes. She is. I can confirm. I was just having a fun. Right, okay. Right, let's get back to it. Group B. These were mine. That's kind of how Portugal's tournament went. So let's start with Jessica Silva, Portuguese forward, who, again, just really couldn't get going, unfortunately. Started the first game, but it was against Spain. We all know how that ended, 5-0. Just couldn't get a look in. She was a second half sub in the second game, and that was the one, if people remember, against Italy. Anna Borges ended up with a red card. And she was subbed on in the second and third games for Anna Capetta as well. So it seems like after that first game where nothing really happened, she was kind of shuffled out of that pecking order. She was out for a while with injury. Again, if you watched the previous show, I said she'd had some issues and she was out for a while and she was trying to get through rehab to get back into the tournament. But unfortunately, it just really wasn't Portugal's tournament either. Couldn't really do much with the group they were drawn into. It didn't help, of course, that Italy and Spain were just a bit too strong for the others. My other pick from Group B was Tessa Vullaerts, the Belgian forward. We also said how, when they played against England in the Nations League, how impressive she was and how integral she was to that forward line. And looking at her stats, she scored and assisted during this tournament. But as we said earlier, it was a tournament where every group, pretty much apart from Spain, who'd kind of topped it pretty early on, and Sweden to a certain extent, every team was fighting for those spots because it was so difficult to score goals. So the fact that she scored against Spain in match day 2, a very, very key moment for her, and also scored against Portugal on match day 3. And you just think she made the best impact she could in a team that's still trying to find their feet and still trying to move forwards. I realise I have misread my notes. She assisted both goals against Spain. That sounds better. In match day 2 and then scored against Portugal.
I was surprised Belgium weren't as close to Italy as you might expect. And I'm not sure whether that's Italy, because obviously Italy making the semi-finals, whether that was Italy really stepping up a couple of levels, or whether Belgium had the potential to reach that same level and just kind of didn't.
Yeah, I was really shocked by it because surely going into it, Italy, Belgium, and Portugal, there wasn't much in it, but I genuinely think this was a tournament, Channel and Chloe, it was a tournament of vibes. And you could just see which teams felt like they were going to give 100% and they were there for each other and they were going to play their hearts out. Whereas you saw other teams who were missing a bit of something. And a bit like Portugal, a bit like your Denmarks, like your Icelands, they just couldn't really find a way through, and just didn't really have that oomph behind them. So yeah, I generally think it came down to who wanted it more in that group, and we saw what Italy did, didn't we? So yeah, so they were my two from Group B, and unfortunately they did finish third and fourth in Group B. Belgium on 3 points, they did win a game, and Portugal only on 1. So at least everyone in Group B got some points, got some points on the board. But yeah, unfortunately, goal difference was not in Portugal's favour after that 5-0 loss to Spain. Right then, Group A. Our lovely Danny picked these ones, I believe. However, we can all have a chat. So in Group A for Iceland, we chose Svendis Jónsdóttir. And Paul, Iceland were a weird one this tournament, weren't they? Because we said they can frustrate teams. They're going to really try and go for it and maybe get that second spot. And I fully predicted Iceland were going to get out of this group. But they just didn't really turn up until the final game, did they? So how do you think Iceland's tournament went?
And Svendis Jónsdóttir didn't really turn up after exploding onto the scene during the last Euros.
Yeah.
Didn't really, but because she was probably their best striker, their main striker, and she was always taking throw-ins because of that missile of a throw-in she had.
Yeah, of course.
And corners, and you'd rather want to be on her to be on the other end of them, and it was just Iceland were disappointing. It didn't help that they lost Gladys Vigosdottir to injury, and they had the silliest sending off I've ever seen, or one of them
in the first game. Yeah, that was Arnarsdottir, wasn't it, in that first game? I believe. Let's just double check.
Heidersdottir.
So ridiculous that sending off.
Antonsdottir.
Dottir.
So many Dottiers.
All of the Dottiers in that team.
Proud day for Anton.
Coincidence. But yeah, so they had that early red card in the sense of it was on the first game, and then we said that kind of rattled them a bit, didn't it? Because just getting a decision like that when you can tell they felt it shouldn't have been a red, it just not the best starts and couldn't really get into it. And Jónsdóttir didn't actually score until their final game. In the 6th minute. So it was early on. They knew they were trying to fight for something, but ultimately it just wasn't enough, was it? And they finished bottom of the group with 0 points, and only scored the 3 goals in the tournament. So yeah, it was just a bit. It was a strange one, that group, because we'll talk about Jutta Rantzler as well, and she also didn't have as much impact as we expected because she was only used as a second half sub during the tournament. Paul, would you have done anything different with Rantzler?
I think part of that was injury
because she was coming back, wasn't she?
Again, we picked players based on what they could do, full strength. And we probably should have not picked players coming back from injury. Is the learning from that, or be wary of picking players coming back from injury.
Didn't we? I had to.
But you want to be optimistic. But Katarina Kosola was Finland's breakout star of the tournament on the right wing. She was very, very good indeed. And
scoring for them.
Maybe we should, Dan is pretty good at picking out players to watch, and I think if Rantzler hadn't been picked in the squad, I think he'd have picked someone like Kosola. I think as soon as Rantzler is put in the squad, we know what she can do. Having seen her play for Leicester in the WSL, and Leicester have suffered without her as well.
Yes. Yeah, we saw last season, didn't we? Just what they were. I don't want to say reduced to. That sounds awful, but they certainly weren't where they could have been without her. So yeah, again, a very, very strange tournament indeed. Chloe, how do you think Group A went? Because we all said it could be anyone's game out of those 4 teams. Norway probably should have got out of the group, and ultimately they did. But yeah, what did you think about Group A?
I mean, like you just said, we said that it was going to be that would probably be the closest group there was. Even I think going to the final game, it still could have been anyone's game. Like the points were all so even almost throughout. Oh, bless you.
All of the blessed news this evening.
To be fair, Norway, I think, struggled after that first game. Like I thought that might have been them done, because they also seemed rattled after that first game. Because I don't know, it was a tough group. It was like, I mean, we say Group D was tough, but Group A was tough in a completely different way because we just didn't know which way it was going to go. I thought Norway might have been out after their first game. Like,
no, it was. Yeah, because they just got through, didn't they? Their first game.
Only just got through it, and I'm like, yeah, and this isn't the Norway we know. It's like, and then Hedberg missing like all the penalties.
All of the penalties.
Or worse than England than penalty. No, it wasn't.
Jonathan Pearce's favourite striker in the world, Ada Hegerberg, of course. He tore into her on commentary.
Good, I've got so many thoughts about that Sweden game. Just didn't know which way it was going to go, but I think the right two did make it through. Just vibes. Live, laugh, vibes.
Because if we look at, so just to confirm then, so Group A, so it was Norway and Switzerland who went through, but Switzerland by the skin of their teeth, because they had the exact same points as Finland, but they had 1 goal more.
That's how close. 1.
Literally 1. And that's why, I know we keep saying it, but literally every goal counted in these group stages, because it was so difficult, unless you were Spain, to actually get points on the board. Right then.
By the way, because we've talked a lot of those, it's lovely to see Emily back in the chat. Liverpool,
yes.
Emily.
Yes.
There's several of them. We missed you during the Euros.
We have indeed. It's lovely, familiar faces, all friends coming back and having a little chat.
And it's lovely seeing everyone welcome friends back as well. It was warming my heart watching what you were talking on in the chat.
And hey, this is what we've created, bringing everyone together. We've all got our drinks and we're settling in for a nice little Euros chat, of course. Right then, let's get on to the quarterfinal, shall we? So 4 teams, unfortunately, got knocked out as we moved into knockout football. And Chloe, you actually picked Hannah Lundqvist, didn't you, for the Swedes? How do you think Sweden did in this tournament? And indeed, Hannah Lundqvist, because we all know what happened in that penalty shootout.
I'm just going to go and get a fork, because I think Chloe's getting ready for another 5.
Well then.
Here we go.
No, Sweden kind of did as I predicted. Like, I thought that they'd get to the quarters, but what strikes me with that penalty shootout is I read somewhere that Sweden didn't have a game plan, because they never thought it would ever get to penalties. So they literally just sent anybody up, like, you want to take a penalty? Yeah, you go do that. And that's why their keeper ended up going so early, because they just had.
Yeah, so they were talking about that, and they're like, "Yeah, no, we didn't practice."
They had
and then
no plan.
Other teams subsequently came out and went, "Yeah, no, we didn't practice either." And it's like, but guys, you know it's a possibility.
And that was so funny to me, like the fact that they openly admitted, like, yeah, we didn't have a game plan. You know, we just sent anyone who wanted to take one up. Like, that's why the keeper went like 4th, because we don't have a plan. It's like, okay, that's great for you not having a plan, but
yeah, not great for us.
You a little bit,
because if you look at like who was taken off by that time, so again they didn't think they were gonna go to extra time. Rebecca Blomqvist had come on for Stina Blackstenius, so Blackstenius was off.
You'd keep
Anderson
Emma
was
on,
off.
sure. Like you keep our Emma on.
Yeah, Ritty Canarids had been taken off.
Keep her on.
Who else? Rolfer had been taken off.
Keep her on.
And you just think you've taken literally all of your penalty takers, your creative options. Like you've taken them all off. Like what are you possibly going to do? And so ultimately, like you said,
common sense to keep on like Stanway and all the and self-strapping Lucy Bronze. I mean,
most viewed video on BBC Sport TikTok. There we go.
Can't say I blame them. I've watched that too many times. No, that entire game is Sweden England with a tampon up Hannah's nose.
Yeah. Oh, that game is. I don't know if anyone else has had this as well. Do you ever randomly remember something that happened in the game? And like, oh God, that happened. Like the tampon up Hannah's nose, and like just everything that's gone on and happened, and you're like, we were there for that. You know, we watched it live, and it's all just. It's so much.
I remember. I think on the live chat that was the one where at least 3 times I predicted that Sweden were going to score and England were going to lose, and Sweden missed.
Yeah, yeah, because you were doing it to be like, I'm jinxing it now. I'm purposely jinxing it. It's going to go in.
First time I was convinced, and you were just like, "Go and jinx it." It's like, okay, then, fair enough.
It was just so crazy that game. Like, I don't even know what happened. I mean, I really don't think England should have got through, but oh well, we might say that. It was just mental, but Sweden were good. Like Sweden had a good tournament. I think that they kind of got where I expected them to. Like I didn't think they'd make it out the quarters. I think our Emma Stina was really good, and you know she was on side as well, which always helped.
Yeah, so I was doing a Euros roundup on with the Hall and 15 Yards. We are in partnership with this tournament. We did an episode of like a mini roundup before the final, and our friend Emma, other Emma, not Emma Blackstenius, she was like, "Oh, I said to my dad, don't worry, she's always offside. This won't go in," and then she was onside, and it counted.
Like I found Mariona's headband tracker, I'm gonna try and find one if it's like a Emma Stina offside tracker to see how many goals she scored from offside to that have been offside and ones that have been onside. So I think that would be quite a good start. Like Chloe Kelly's headband wrap now. What's her success with her wrap? Because she didn't have it on the final, but then she had it the game before Italy. Like, is that they should not have time to put it on because she was just shoved on? Like, what?
So what was the meaning behind it?
I'm
Well,
quite
when you
surprised,
interview Chloe Kelly,
with joke Twitter accounts, I'm quite surprised there's not a "Is Stina Blackstenius offside" Twitter account that just tweets yes every so often.
Oh my god, this should be exactly. Mariona's headband tracker is my favorite thing.
There's got to be. If not, Chloe, I think you should make that Twitter account.
I'll set it up.
Did anyone see, by the way, speaking of comedy, did anybody see Monse Tomei's diary got a Twitter account?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just the tweet immediately after the final, just a picture of her writing in a diary with just fuck. I was like, that is tweet of the Euros. That's just amazing.
Yeah.
Just writing it.
I saw that months ago and I was like, guys, we all need to follow this. This is incredible. And then people would tweet in the account saying, "Oh, is your job in jeopardy? Like, what's going to happen next?" And they were like, "You really think I'm going anywhere? Like, what?" And then a statement came out from the RFEF. And apparently they're very happy with Monse Tomei in charge. And they don't think anything's going to change. So, no fears. The diary account
like
is here
Tom
to stay.
Jones performing on The Simpsons with a gun in his back. Just, that's it. Smile. You're very happy.
Dear diary, today's squirrel looked at me funny.
Oh, we do. We love the diary. If people don't know what we're talking about, on Twitter or X, there is an account called Monse Tomei's Diary, and it's the very famous picture of her writing all of her notes during a match, looking very serious. And it's just her thoughts. parody account, of course. But as the games go on, and it gets funnier and funnier.
My mum
It's
calls
like
it
the boring James Milner account of women's football. In men's football, they just had someone called James Milner boring when he played for England, and so someone set up an account that just said things like, "I went shopping today. I saved £20 on my car insurance." Because you can never have good enough.
And then they gave up because they realised that it was just Michael Owen and they couldn't beat the real thing.
Kevin. However, David saying there predicted the final before it happened. Yes, we did. Ryan's getting a bit defensive. Leave my Stina alone. We love her. We think she's
love her. We absolutely love her.
Matt saying thought Sweden had an okay tournament. They finished top of the group. Yes, because who can forget that win against Germany that no one saw coming? 4-1, of course. I think a managerial mistake from Gerhardsson ultimately cost them in that quarterfinal. Yeah, they assumed it was all wrapped up and done, didn't they? So, bringing on different subs, trying to see out the game. And ultimately, they couldn't. And England did get back in to make it 2-2, to take it extra time, and ultimately to penalties in the quarterfinal. But yeah, that first half, like Chloe was saying, it was chaos. Aslani scores in the 2nd minute. Blackstenia scores in the 25th. And you just think, okay, the onslaught starts here. But luckily, Lucy Bronze and Michelle Adjuman, who we are going to talk about when we talk about the Lionesses, what a tournament she had. So Sweden ultimately went out in the quarterfinals. Hannah Lundqvist, of course, who we did start talking about and then went off pace, started right back, was the starting right back, I should say, for this tournament. And there seemed to be a pattern where she would start and be subbed for Smila Homburg, who, of course, people will remember the name because she was ultimately the 5th Swedish penalty. And we will say it once more, it was not her fault that Sweden went out at all. But unfortunately, that's where people might find the name from. And the Swedish defence, so Lundqvist did do a good job as part of the defence. They only let in 3 goals during the tournament, and 2 were in that match against England. So only 1. So that's a pretty good stat, I do believe. So Sweden did impress to a certain extent, but ultimately fell short because they stopped trying a little bit in that second half of the quarterfinal. However, someone who did not stop running for the entire tournament was Signig Upset for Norway. Now, Norway, and again, people in the chat probably agree because we were all talking about it, Norway should be a team that are smashing right through to the semi-finals, at least, because of the skill and the talent they've got in their team. But Paul, Norway kind of did a Norway, and they were a bit jammy for a little bit, weren't they, getting through? But ultimately, it was the quarterfinals where they said goodbye. So, yeah, for people who might not have watched it or might not have noticed, Signig Upset had a really good tournament, didn't she?
Well, yeah, she did, and Danny picked her out. And I have to admit, she was one of the players who I was less aware of in the Norway squad. And I was like, if Danny's picked her out, obviously, then I'll keep an eye on her and see how she goes. And she's just an absolute tank. Like she just does not stop running.
No.
She plays football like it's personally annoyed her. Like she just hunts the ball down.
Against everyone. Yeah.
Hunts the ball down and isn't afraid to just randomly wallop the ball from 50 yards if she sees the goalie offline.
Yeah.
And I just wish she wasn't Norwegian, because stuck in that team, like she seems out of place in that team because she actually cares and she tries and she turns up at major tournaments. I mean, like you said, one of my favourite moments of the Euros in hindsight was at the end of that Sweden penalty shootout, when I'm just sat there like this in complete silence for about 20 seconds after you've made an inhuman noise. And you've just said, "Oh my God, we've done a Norway." Like,
we We didn't know it.
Like,
Because
our literal response is, you're like, how have we done that? I'm like, what the cinnamon toast fuck just happened? Like,
do you not remember though, after that first England goal when Lucy Bronze's header came back in to get us back in? I went, we can't, can we? And then we did.
I think
do
we'd
you
all
not
just
remember that
written
was
it
the
off
time
at that
where-
point. Like, yeah, it's not
that
happening.
was also the time where I went, yeah, okay, Lucy Bronze at the back post is kind of a thing.
Well, it's just dangerous from that position. We've seen her do it. But Signe Gobset, though, 2 goals and 2 assists this tournament. She is 20 years old and only had 5 caps going into this tournament.
A big team is going to throw money at her because she's still playing in Norway.
I really, really hope so. Because just to double check,
Is it Brand she's at?
Yes, she is
And
in
we had
Brand.
a discussion because Martin Ho, who's the new Tottenham manager, of course, coached her at Bran. And when we were talking about, she's made for the WSL. She's like a Norwegian Erin Cuthbert. She's just
Yes, yeah, absolutely in midfield, pure tank. So
maybe not quite that level yet, but that very much that style of player.
Very much potential.
She makes things happen. And why she wasn't starting for Norway, because every time she came on, it gave Norway a proper kick up the
It
herring.
made such a difference, didn't it? Yeah, 100%. So yeah, definitely. Obviously, we said one to watch for this tournament, but definitely one to watch for the future. And let's see if another club can attract her from Bran, and hopefully into the WSL. It would be fantastic to see. Yeah, Josh is in there. Really great to see that we had her. She impressed in the Finland game with a brace of goals and assists. Yeah, absolutely.
She's a Liverpool player, I think. If Liverpool had any ambition, she's a Liverpool player.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
If you build a Liverpool midfield and you've got like Herbinger, Nagano, and Gopset, you've got that 3 where you've got the calm, unnoticeable one, the tank who keeps running, and then the creative one. Which, of course, Spain used to great effect until the final.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot, didn't we? The 3 that work so well together because they're all parts of a machine.
I don't think I don't think United have the ambition, Joshua. I don't think.
No, and unfortunately, we're not nothing. No, I can't lie. We just really wish United can sort themselves out. That's what we really want, because there's so much going on behind the scenes that you just think to attract players of a good caliber, they need to get something sorted because too many players have left United on bad terms, and you just think it's not worth it. So yeah, but yeah, just as a quick one.
Skinner's fault, I think. Word has spread about him.
Yeah. No, I can see that. And players talk, don't they?
There might be some players that like him, Rachel Williams, because he's kept her in the job for the past 5 years. But
it's true.
But no, if you are someone like Signe Gopset, and you ask your Norwegian teammates, Vilde Bovisa, for example, or Lisa Olsen as well, who is still at Man United, and might turn around and say, well, honestly, Signe, this is what happened to me, and it's kind of working now, but
yeah, but look what happened at the beginning. Look what, yeah.
Or do you want to go to Spurs with the coach who played you at Brann all through last season and responsible for you being in the Norwegian team, effectively?
Yeah. I mean, what a signing for Spurs if she did follow him over. It'd be incredible. Yeah, Telemann Bazette as well. For that Norwegian side, yeah. So she'll know, and ultimately she'll make the right decision for her, won't she? But yeah, from our perspective on the outside, it's just it doesn't seem great. Let's say.
I think Telemann will be out of Man United by this time next year.
Yeah.
Early prediction.
Okay, everyone write that down in your diaries. Paul's early predictions. And just another one about Norway from Matt saying, Norway must be underwhelming. Yeah, Gemma Granger showing her inexperience at managing at the top level. Yes, because Gemma Granger, of course, was managed Wales and then left them essentially for this job before the Euro prep, which was a bit naughty, I think. And yeah, starting Guro Reiten at left back, bit of a strange choice. And we had that across the tournament, managers playing players at different.
But the key thing about Gemma Granger is when she left Wales, Wales didn't really give much. Like if you talk to people who covered the Welsh team, they were kind of like, well, Wales need a change because Gemma Granger isn't really taking them anywhere.
No, and that's the thing. And Rhiannon Wilkinson, we know what she can do, and she's gone and bloody done it, hasn't she? She's gone and shown it. Oh, Ryan's really getting you to run. Paul, will Skinner survive till Christmas?
Yes, because the management at United are incompetent.
And that's why. Yep, good answer. Good answer indeed.
And he can hold on to the fact that they're in the Champions League. If they do pull out a few results in the Champions League, you can point at them and go, "Oh, we made it to the Champions League group stage," or whatever. But like you said, for all the talk, the hierarchy at Man United at this point, it's fairly obvious to even the most fervent United defenders that they don't really care about the women's team.
No, not even slightly. And that's why we say we wish the club can just sort it out, because to have multiple clubs at the level that they should be, considering their affiliation with the men, it's really sad to see when clubs aren't delivering. So the other quarter finalists then that we need to talk about. Paul, I'm going to come to you for Sakina Karshawi, because I know you follow her a little bit more. But yeah, for the French side, who again kind of started out really strong. We saw what they did against England, but France did a France and got to a certain point and then kind of threw it away a little bit and just couldn't get it over the line essentially against Germany. So what impression did Karshawi make on you in this tournament, and then France in general, please?
Karshawi was what she was, and she probably actually had a slightly disappointing tournament because my picture, the reason I picked Karshawi so much is mainly from her in the Euros, last Euros and the World Cup, just flying down that right side.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether as she's got older, her role has adjusted for the French team at least. But there seemed to be less of that. She seemed to take slightly more of a back seat, and you had the likes of Delphine Cascarino, who was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Down that right side.
Yeah.
And yeah, given a do-over, would I have picked Karshawi if I was picking? Probably not.
No? Okay. Does anyone else impress from the French team?
Aside from Cascarino, Marie-Antoinette Katoto started well. But again, with love of defenders, and I ranted about it particularly with how much space she was allowed in the England game, but Elise de Almeida's some player.
Yeah.
And I know you'd like her because you've mentioned her when England played France in the friendly or in the Nations League. But she was often a centre back or right back who was furthest forward, and you go sat there like, okay, what on earth is going on here? She's Maëlle Lacroix for Lyon, I think, is a very, very good player who we're going to see a lot more of because she's only 21. And then it's a lot of the names in the French team that you kind of go, because I think they're going to be in a transition next year or two, because I think with the leaving out of Wendy Renard and
Yeah.
Usually Le Sommer is done, I suspect, because she is in her mid-30s now. And so I suspect she's being gently eased out of the picture. Because this tournament would have been a swan song anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Wendy Renard, again, it's a weird decision not to pick her. It looked vindicated for the group stages.
Yeah, her leadership. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense. It was very clear that the coach was like, right, we're bringing through the next generation of French defenders.
Yeah,
Because
we're having a change. Yeah,
it was a very young French defense,
Mm.
and Ali Sombas 21, 22, Maya Lacar is 22. Alice Almeida, I think, was the oldest player on that. No, Selma Basha was the eldest, and she's 28. No, Karshawi. I apologise. I would get Karshawi and Basha's ages mixed up. Sakina Karshawi is 29, and she was by far the oldest player who might be considered playing part of that defence.
Yeah. 29 is nothing really, is it? It's
no, 29 is prime of the career for most people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And defenders supposedly come into their prime slightly later than strikers because of the knowledge and the mental aspect of the position.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Karshawi is now fully in their prime, and I'm surprised Lyon haven't tempted her away from PSG yet. Because those two.
Yeah.
Then you have oil state money behind PSG, of course. But if Man United really wanted to send a message, Man United would go for a player like Karshawi.
Oh, that could be a shout.
But they're fairly loaded in that position because they've got Riviere already, who is younger than Karshawi.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, Riviere can be quite injury prone, can't she? So maybe. Hey, options indeed. Chloe, how about for you? So we had Iman Benet for Switzerland. Now, superstar in the making, as we all saw, recently signed for Manchester City. What a player they've got on their hands. But for a host nation, how did Switzerland perform against either your expectations or whatever you thought of them coming into this tournament? But ultimately, record-breaking crowds at this tournament. So yeah, what did you make of Switzerland?
I mean, I thought they were a great host nation. I mean, the tourist attractions there is perfect. So you had both Eurovision and the Euros in the same year. for everyone who likes that, it's perfect for them. No, I think they did as a host nation so well because all the stadiums as well. From what I've seen as well. I mean, I wasn't there, so if I'm wrong, then oops. But from what I've seen, is a lot of this.
Sorry, if I'm wrong, then oops.
If I'm wrong, oops, correct me if I'm wrong. But from what I've seen online, is that a lot of the stadiums were quite close together, where you could just get like a bus or a tram or a train to each of the cities, which is really nice when they're all like close together. But also, as a host nation, it's tough being the host nation because everyone puts so much expectations and responsibility on you as a host. Like, remember 3 years ago when England was the host and there was all that pressure on them, like not just because they were the host, but because England hadn't actually won anything since 1966. Like, it was all that pressure, and Switzerland dealt with the pressure really well. And did you see that Leo Volti sent like every one of the team captains like this little gift basket saying like, welcome to Switzerland, This is for you, we hope you enjoy your city, which I thought was really nice of them.
Yeah,
and
I love
City have got such a good player with Benet. Like, she is, I'm so excited to get to the Joy Stadium. Just go get a sponsor. Say it again. It's sponsoring to get a little bit of commission each time you say it. To get there and see her and see what she can do. And as for attendances, I've said this a lot on like social media to like my mom and everything like that. No matter what happened with England or anything like that, they've made history regardless if they won or not again. Like for record-breaking attendances, they've had more shirts sold than ever before. The TV records as well, like not just for England games, but like Switzerland games, the opening games, the derbies, like Finland, Iceland, all them little local derby type things. They got the same flag. That was probably wrong, but not geography's not what I say. I feel like we know which countries I'm on about, but I don't.
Those little derbies, they've all got the same flag.
Two households boast alike in dignity in this fair derby where we lay our scene.
The speech was going
Both
so
alike-
well as well. Okay,
Two
Sam. When we
teams both
clip this,
alike in flaggery. There you go.
Very good.
okay, Sam, when we clip this, because my speech was going great, just cut all this out about me not knowing geography.
No, keep it in.
I'm trying my best. But no, they had like the record-breaking attendances. The TV views have been higher than they ever have been, and it's a whole new generation of football fans coming up, and hopefully they'll see this and then be inspired to go visit the local teams, whether it be WSL, WSL2, grassroots. Just get out and get visiting to their local teams, and we can make it a regular occurrence. We can make women's football this big. Like if this was what the Euros were, then imagine what the WSL can be like this season or even next season, and hopefully we can sell out more stadiums. And I'm just excited for the future. Like the future of women's football is so bright, and I can't wait to see where it's headed.
Yeah, and I think with the players coming through and being able to have a spotlight shone on them on the stage, and what really stood out. So Danny had Aman Benet for us. Josh is saying there, great for age, played a couple of positions, very good attacking wise. Best of luck to her at City. And there was another name that we talked about who we kind of knew a bit about before the tournament. But as soon as she started playing, we knew that we wanted her in the WSL. And Paul, that was Geraldine Reuteler, wasn't it? What a player. Can you just sum up for us in case people didn't quite watch the Switzerland games? Why do we want Reuteler in the WSL so much?
I mean, from this tournament, she had the tournament that UEFA thought Aitana Bonmati had by giving a player the tournament.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Reuteler was incredible. Like she was everywhere. She was solid defensively. She drove Switzerland forward. She scored key goals. She was a Swiss Army knife of a player.
Hey.
Only been waiting to drop that one in all the time. But just the thing with the Swiss thing as well, like Chloe was saying about the future of women's football in England. The main thing in Switzerland, you watched the Swiss public fall in love with their women's team in real time. And It was lovely. It was really, really nice to watch, especially as England went through that. We went through that as English 3 years ago on a wider scale. Obviously, you had the 2019 World Cup and the Olympics and everything, and women's football was kind of a thing. But 2022, everybody said that was when everyone went, where the Lionesses went into orbit. I am a bit more cynical about Chloe saying, imagine where the WSL can go now, because it's what we all said 3 years ago with a home victory, and it hasn't really happened as much as you'd hope. And now Sky is sticking 90% of the games for a league that supposedly desperately wants people to watch it behind a paywall. So
that's the thing, isn't it? So they've split the rights between BBC and Sky. Then 90% of the games are on Sky, but Some of them, do you remember last couple of seasons, some have been on Sky Showcase, which is the one that you don't have to pay for the football channels for, but you still have to have Sky in some form to then watch Showcase. So it's not saying pay for a football subscription package, because that's far too expensive. But it's, yeah. So you can see that they want to make money from it because they need to get back on their investment. But also, for the game, still not in its infancy, but it's still not at
It
level.
worries me that they're trying to tear. They're already going to kill the hen that laid the golden egg, because the Lionesses won everything. And we talk about Lionesses tax. We talk about how the only teams that anybody really cares about are the Lionesses. There was an article in The Athletic that talked about that got a surprising lack of attention. Well, I'd say it's surprising. It wasn't, because there was one point made that there were some sources have said that there were some Lioness players who perhaps care a little bit more about their own personal image this time round and that has caused divisions within the squad.
Interesting.
We won't speculate on who those players are.
Yeah, of course not.
But I'm sure we have ideas. On the plus side, we won't speculate on who those players are. But if they get more than one endorsement deal, I reckon one of them would say it was so nice they had to do it twice. And on a side note, actually, with attitude, with endorsement, it is still very interesting the way that the Lionesses are being praised and lauded and held up as examples of what brilliance is against certain men's players. When you look at what they've done, but that's to move on the Lionesses, because I've got off the topic. We're talking about Reuteler, and we were talking about how she led the charge for Switzerland, and she will become probably the face of that team for the next couple of years.
I hope so.
While Shirton-Lieb and Benet and Elia Pilgrim, who we only saw, she was amazing. And Nadine Reason as well was amazing. So all these names who, if there is any justice, will be far bigger names in Switzerland now. Because
I hope so.
At this tournament, they were the leading players as Switzerland fell in love with its women's team. I mean, the opening game for Switzerland, they filled stadiums, but there were some writings of we're still waiting for the Swiss to properly get behind this, and you want them to do well. 25,000 people joined the fan walk for the quarterfinal.
Yes. Yeah, of course. I mean, if that doesn't say they're behind their women's team, then what?
And I really hope now that the Swiss have another good run at the World Cup.
Yeah.
And get through. Have another good run in the Nations League. And those young players really kick on with the likes of Geraldine Reuteler. And, crucially, we're talking about a Swiss team. And more crucially, the media and the football press is talking about a Swiss team without mentioning Alicia Bloody Lehman.
Yes. Thankfully.
And, the Swiss team is not being marketed on, hey, there's a player who's really hot.
Yeah.
Plays in Switzerland.
Is actually for their merit and their strengths and their skills. And we've said it before, we've got nothing against Alicia Lehman, because from a Villa perspective, when she turns up, she is a player. She is a good player. Unfortunately, the image part of it has taken over. The media have got hold of it and they've spun it into something ridiculous away from women's football. So, and who actually only played in that final game, I believe.
She played something like 11 minutes, and
it wasn't a lot. And to be honest, I'm glad in a sense, because like you said, the spotlight wasn't on her.
The best thing that could happen for the Swiss team is her not to be picked for it.
Yeah, and again, she was coming back from injury. We're not being mean. She was coming back from injury. So that's the real reason why she wasn't playing much. But yeah, Sean said didn't realise Leash was in the squad. Good. So then the media's talking about the stuff it should be talking about, and not how many followers that she has. So no, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Switzerland team has to offer. And as Matt's put in there, just from a Villa perspective, shout out to Noelle Moritz, fantastic player, and even got sent off in the last couple of minutes of the quarterfinal performance against Spain. And it was that close to the final whistle. She was still walking off the pitch when the whistle went. She hadn't even made it to the bench yet.
And we can say as well, we can argue, Switzerland in that quarterfinal, arguably on another day, with a referee who was perhaps less willing to fall for everything Spain did.
Yes.
And without the Spanish tax.
Yes.
And with VAR that worked.
Oh, VAR. Yeah, VAR either worked really well in some games, was over the top in some games, or was just non-existent. And we've said it from the beginning, we just want it fair and equal throughout, don't we? That's all we want. Now, going into the semi-finals, shall we? From Germany, which chose Lea Schuler, and from Italy, which chose Sofia Cantore. Now, Chloe, I'm just going to come quickly to you on this one. With Germany and Italy, talk about both. You can talk about one, whichever you like. Did you expect both of them to get this far in the competition? And what did you pick up from the tournament from these two teams?
Germany, yes. Italy, no. We spoke about
incredible. Sorry, yeah, go, you're back.
No, I was just going to say, Germany, yes, I did, because, their history in the tournament, like, I'm
going to stand here.
Just their history in the tournament just speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? Like 8-time winners, got to the final last year. I thought they were going to get to the final this year, to be honest. Like, I thought that they could have beat Spain and got to the final, because the history just speaks for itself. I was gutted for Gwyn getting that injury in the first game.
Yeah,
that was just so bad for her. And so cruel, like. But I thought that, that penalty shootout as well, especially shout out to Anne-Katrin Berger, like, what a woman. That penalty shootout, that save.
I was going to say, she's in our favourite moments. Yes, absolutely. Anne-Katrin Berger.
We'll talk about that more, but that save just was like, changed me as a person.
Legendary. Yeah.
So good. Italy, no. We have spoken about how Italy can be so unpredictable as a team, and we didn't know whether they would or not. I didn't expect them to get to the semi-finals, to be honest, and I know they made history getting just to the quarterfinals, which is so, like, we love a little bit of history writing, don't we? Like a little bit of history, a bit of history being rewritten.
Well, while we're breaking records, we might as well do it again for Italy, yeah. And for those people who aren't aware, it was 28 years, I believe, since they've been this far in the competition. So a huge moment for that team, yeah.
And again, I thought England would fully going to be out against Italy, literally lastminute.com.
Yeah, that's the thing. Barbara Bonansea took them in the lead in the 33rd minute, and it was like, oh, okay, Italy. We saw Italy fighting all the way through, and I was saying it for a while. This looked like a team that they look so together and they look so energized and they look completely different to any other Italian teams that we've seen in the last couple of years, last couple of tournaments. And this could be their year, if any, to be a dark horse. And to get this far was incredible. And I chose Sofia Cantore for this one because of her creativity, her link-up play. And it was actually, she assisted both of Girelli's goals. And we've spoken about Girelli before, being such a legend that she is in the Italian game. But she assisted both of Girelli's goals in the quarterfinal against Norway to get them to this point. And she's just signed for Washington Spirit in the NWSL. And she will be, I think, only the second player to play outside of Italy on the national team. Because, of course, Yaya is at Everton. But everyone else, I believe, does stay at home. They do stay in Italy. So she is a very, very special young player. And it was just fantastic to see her creativity on the wings with Girelli. But Paul, I'm going to come to you a bit more for Germany, because we watching the lives when they had that many injuries and then they had red cards and then everything just seemed to be going wrong, but somehow they kept pulling it out of the bag and they kept going on. And we spoke about Leah Schuler being like a one to watch, because again we saw her potential, but she didn't have the tournament people expected because she then wasn't played as much as we expected. So yeah, for you, Germany, what could managerial decisions have been better, do we think? Or do we think for this particular German team, plagued by injury, this was kind of as far as they could have gone?
I mean, the replacement, they were unlucky because Judy Gavin, who is probably the best right back in the world right now, got injured in the opening game. Captain and probably the best right back in the world. Although, ironically, replacement Franziska Kett made it to the team of the tournament in the end.
She did. I mean, she had a good. Yeah, she was good.
Interesting. And then, of course, Kathy Heidendrich was sent off for the most blatant foul you will ever see.
Yeah.
Like, it was a cat fight hair, Paul, wasn't it? It was a proper, it was
a proper yank, and I still to this day
snap with the ponytail.
Why you would even think about doing it? Just because if that was by accident and you genuinely got caught or whatever, like that would show on your face, wouldn't it? And you'd be saying,
because it'd be sheer panic, and it'd be
you'd panic, yeah. But yeah, that was bizarre.
It was a complete brain fart, is what it was. She just saw she saw Giora get away from her, and was like, "I've got to stop her because she's going to get onto this header."
Yeah.
But then that German team pulled it out the bag, and just
it did.
Eula Brand is an absolute machine of a player. But both German wingers, Eula Brand and Clara Bull, are very impressive.
Yeah.
But if you can only take one of them, you take Eula Brand, because she's got an absolute perpetual motion of a motor. She just doesn't stop running.
Well, we said during the live streams, didn't we? How is she still running? She's at the end of the time
as well.
And the goal, yeah. What a superstar, yeah.
And Giovanna Hoffman came on and was played instead of Leah Schuler. And she never stopped running. But again, like you say, managerially, if Leah Schuler is on the end of some of those crosses, I think Germany are in the final.
I think so too. It was just a very strange decision because I was looking at the stats. She started all of the group games, scored in the 66th minute in both match day 1 and match day 2. So that was her minute. That was hers. But then replaced by Hoffman in the quarters and the semis. But then in the semi-final, when they needed goals against Spain, she comes on in the 114th minute. So that's not even... Yeah, it's not even like we criticized Serena for, 70, 80 minutes. 114 she came on, which that doesn't make any sense because as soon as she came on, she created that chance. And we were like, she could have been doing this
Good
the
40,
last
50 minutes.
half an hour. Yeah. And just and yeah,
Christian Vuk's decisions handed Spain that semi-final, because I think if he puts Leo Schuler on earlier, I think Matt's right. If Shirkan Nuskum wasn't suspended, then
yes, of
that would have
course.
been different, because she's obviously a fantastic player. But
yeah,
I think that if Christian Vuk manages that properly, because Spain are out, and it's a very different final.
Yeah,
Then,
because it was just 1-0, wasn't it?
It was 1-0, and it was a moment. And Germany and Katrin Berger. Let's be honest here, because we'll mention it in favourite moments, but we've got to mention it and say that wasn't just save of the tournament. That was one of the saves of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, we'll talk about it now. This I think probably was my favourite moment of the tournament, because we obviously, again, in the watch-alongs, if you joined us, we watched it live and we both kind of went, how did she sorry? how has she just propelled herself?
I didn't see it, because I think I was talking to you about something or saying something else, and obviously play developed. And I was like, how has that stayed out? What a save by Ann-Katrin Berger. And then, I thought it had hit the post or something, because I thought, and then you watch the replay and you go, how is she?
Yeah, she was nowhere near that. How is she?
The scramble, the reach, the arm strength, the wrist strength to flick that ball away.
Yeah.
And keep it out the net while falling in the opposite direction. Like,
yeah.
And there are very few goalies. There are very few male goalies in the world in that position, in exactly that situation, who I would have backed to make that save.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3. I can't think of a Premier League goalie who I'd have backed to make that save.
No. And that kind of shows just how special it was, doesn't it? The fact that she had to have that skill and that awareness and that initiative and almost that instinct to do it, because why would you think about, I've got to throw myself that way? You just do it, don't you? And she went for it.
When you watch how far she has to change direction, she has to scramble off a foot, off balance, and fall backwards, and get her hand to it, and flick it away, not straight back out in front, because she doesn't, because there's going to be a forward coming in.
Yeah, doesn't want anyone to get the rebound. Yeah, absolutely. To put it in a direction that is going to just take it out of play and nullify any threat. That's exactly what she did and what she needed to do. And yeah, that's going to go down for a very, very long time.
And then she's casual heroics in the penalty shootout as well. A few moments later.
Yeah. Because that was the quarters, wasn't it? Because she dropped to her knees when they beat France, and you just.
The thing I didn't get was the reaction from men. Oh, that's not, anyone can do that. I'm like, right, okay, so any male goalie can do that. Right, okay. When you explain what she's actually doing, you break it down as, okay, she has to change direction and push off her inside foot, which isn't her. No, she has to push off her outside foot, which isn't anywhere near as planted as her inside foot. Hurl herself across while scrambling backwards, probably a good 5 or 6 yards, to a dropping ball that she has to judge the trajectory of.
Yeah.
And then get her arm out at full stretch. And anyone, this is the thing I'll say, I'm ranting. Anyone who doesn't realise or wants to see just how amazing that was, take a football and hold it out at full stretch. And try and flick it with just your wrist and see how much power you get on it.
Yeah, because it's not just...
It won't move. It'll just roll off it. Most people that hand will just fall off. The fact that she's gone full stretch in midair while falling onto her shoulder with every instinct in her body screaming, cushion your fall.
Yeah, and she's like, nope, that's it out of the way, and just what a woman, what a keeper. And we will definitely be talking about this for the rest of forever. That's exactly what's going to be happening. But yeah, Germany had, despite everything, I think they probably had the hardest route in that competition, considering how many injuries and cards and just everything that they had against them. To get that far, I think ultimately they should be incredibly proud, because that could have gone south a lot sooner.
And I will say about the semi-finals, it did provide the best moment of commentary of the tournament, which was Seb Hutchinson on Michelle Adjaman's goal for Italy. Because you know it's amazing if a commentator allows their voice to kind of break.
Yeah.
And if you watch the clip of it, the ITV clip of Michelle Adjaman's goal against Italy, Seb Hutchinson loses it completely. Like, it's literally just, you can hear him kind of trying to keep up with the action. It's come back out, and then he realizes who it is and just screams, Adjaman! And his voice breaks on the end of it. So like, Adjaman! And there's just raw emotion. It's like, yeah, that is proper comedy.
Yeah, I teared up listening to it back, because obviously we were watching it on mute with our watch-alongs, and then the next day I played it back and I was like, oh god, if I'd have heard that at the time, because that's exactly what you need. He could never. Yeah, and that's what the mark of a great commentator, to get that emotion from the audience, because that's exactly what was happening. And we loved it. Right then, last two. We picked Alex Greenwood and Claudia Pina as our picks for England and Spain, who of course got to the final, and who of course England won back-to-back European trophies. So Chloe, we'll come to you for this one. We'll specifically talk about Alex Greenwood first, and then we can all kind of jump in about the Lionesses, because Alex Greenwood doesn't get enough credit, does she, for the work that she does? But kind of what's been your opinion about Alex Greenwood getting back to the squad and how she's performed this tournament?
I love Alex Greenwood. I think she's been great. She is such a key player for that England squad. And when she had that injury back in December, and the Lionesses had all like these warm-up games and friendlies and stuff, you could really tell that she was missing, and her presence on the pitch. She's one of the oldest, like Lucy Bronze's, like not in a bad way, but she's like one of the oldest players, so she's got more experience, and she's got experience. She's very experienced on the pitch, off the pitch, and she's just such a good presence to have around, because she knows what she's doing. And I think she's so underrated as a player. Like, even just coming back from that injury she had, because it was quite a big one. It's just, she's just so amazing, and the Lionesses are so lost without her. But just the whole squad in general, like watching them all come together, and I think we all wrote them off. We all aged about 20 years watching them this tournament. Didn't do any favors.
Didn't make it easy, did they?
Made it awful. Like, I might just go watch that final back just so I can like actually enjoy it this time.
Knowing the outcome,
Knowing the outcome, and I can just enjoy it instead of like being terrified and an anxious mess the entire time.
And it was because it was the moment where obviously Jess Carter faced those horrendous messages, and there was a point where Jess was out on the left, and then Alex Greenwood was more centre back, and then they swapped, and it just felt like that was the moment with pushing Alex out onto that left side, getting Jess where she was, confident and happy in that centre back role, and from then on, it just felt like, especially in that final, Jess Carter, I thought, had a really, really good game. And I was so pleased for her because, you know, all of the idiots online, and we won't give them too much airtime, of course, but how can you possibly say that to someone else without thinking of the consequences? And yet, here she is putting in a shift and putting in such good performance. And yeah, I was absolutely over the moon for her. And just this whole squad, you've talked about it there a bit, Chloe, how, you know, we kind of got to every stage at the skin of our teeth, didn't we? We just got it. It was a penalty shootout. It was just everything kind of combined. Nothing was easy. And Serena even apologized at Downing Street, didn't she, for giving everyone multiple heart attacks. But ultimately, we didn't. We did it. Sorry, we did it.
It's just an incredible tournament for everyone involved. Like, I mean, buzzing for Kira Walsh to get, you know, that goal. President of the Kira Walsh Gold Fan Club here got to finally, like, she is incredible. I mean, I'm gutted for Jess Carter had to miss all the celebrations because she had to go back to Gotham. Like,
yeah, I don't know why Gotham just couldn't give her another couple of hours. Like, let her go to the parade.
Let her go to Downing Street.
Yeah. Very, very bizarre. NWSL, if you're watching, why did
Esme got to stay? Like, Esme and Anna got to do the celebrations, and Anna plays for the Pride, Orlando Pride, and Esme is Washington Spirit. Like, why did they get to stay and everyone else has to go? We just can't has to go. Lucy Bronze's fractured tibia.
Yes, of course, telling everyone at the end.
Woman.
I have a problem with that.
Yes, because there's two sides of this. Yeah, Paul, you
I'm going to go, but maybe this is perspective because everyone's lionizing it or lionessing it about how amazing it is.
Yeah.
I've seen the bad side of this as an ice hockey fan because the culture in ice hockey is to play injured. And you know, in football, everybody's going, oh my God, you know, fractured tibia. Hockey fans, me and Kerry, hockey fans are looking at it and going, oh, standard. You know,
That's not what I said.
there are, well, we're going standard in the, not in the fact of the injury itself, but we're going, oh, for ice hockey, that is fairly standard.
Yeah.
You know, we've had in the past couple of years, we've had things like a player play 21 games in the Stanley Cup players with a ruptured spleen.
Ooh.
You know, we've had people play with fractures. We've had people turn around and say, you know, I played with a shattered collarbone, a broken sternum, things like that. And it's like, hold on, if you're playing with a ruptured spleen, that can kill you. That's
serious. Yeah.
And all of this isn't Lucy Bronze amazing. It's going to drive other people to do it. And you have to ask, playing 6-7 games of football on a weight-bearing bone, is she going to be able to walk in 10 years? Is she going to walk with a permanent limp?
Yeah, because that's the thing, isn't it? Because so many people have, you know, either come down on one side or the other of, you know, she won't let anything stop her. She's going to play for England. You know, she'll do anything to play for her country. She's so committed, and you know, she is. We know that 100%. But I can also see, you know, the very sensible side of the argument of, should that have ever been allowed? You know, what kind of fracture was it that she was able to play without it getting any worse, or has it got any worse? We don't know. But her mum also gave an interview. I don't know if anyone saw it. Good old Diane. And she said, you know, she reads research papers. She does, you know, it's not as if she's gone, it's fine. She'd done her own research into whether it was safe or not for her to do it. And the medical staff had signed off on it. So there was a lot of conversation about it. It wasn't just Lucy going, yeah, I'm going to play, I'll be fine. And as Paul kind of right says, a fine line between brave and stupid.
And nobody will ever say it's stupid, but the tibia is a long weight bearing bone.
Yeah.
it's not like playing with a broken finger
No.
that you can use. Every time she jumped, she'd have put force through that bone. Every time she goes through it, she would have put force through it. But I mean, I again, from playing ice hockey, one of my teammates fractured his tibia a couple of weeks ago. He's off work for 3 months. He cannot walk on it for 3 months.
Oh.
And Lucy Bonds has played 7 games of football on it, where she's put weight through it and jumped on it and landed on it.
And it wasn't as if she was taking it easy. It wasn't as if she was coming on as a substitute.
Where she's put inside sliding tackles, where she's twisted on it, where she's turned on it. The strain she's put on the leg, and I know there will be some people. If this got out there, if you say that, you get Lionesses FC, and you get everyone else going, "Oh, stop being all over it. She made a choice." Yeah,
she did.
Again, returning to ice hockey, players made their choice to fight. Now people are dying from head injuries. People are committing suicide because of mental health, and yet you can't wreck your brain with a tibia, but you can wreck your chance to walk around.
It's a hard one because she will, of course, have made the right decision for her. It will have been cleared. We are aware of all that.
Should it have been? Is my argument.
But should it have been?
This is where I think players need to be protected from themselves. And would it make much difference to England to play Maya Letizia or Lucy Bonds instead?
Well, we did say we'd love to see Maya Letizia get given some minutes. Not in these circumstances, of course. I do just want to add. But yeah, maybe have a play. Not a lesser role. That sounds awful, but you can also imagine Lucy being like, "No, I'm playing. Like, I'm playing the full 90."
And that's where you need people to turn around and say, "No, you're not, Lucy."
Yeah, they're protected.
We are not allowing you to play with a broken weight bearing bone in your leg. We're not allowing you to play, risking your future mobility and health.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And of course, we can only comment from the outside, of course. But hey, she was limping a bit in the parade the other day, but she'd hurt her other knee, and that's why she had to come off. So two injuries.
And arguably, she hurt her other knee because she's putting extra stress through it.
And that could indeed be the case.
Like if you read the thing where the BBC have done the whole when have you how can you play with a fractured leg and all that sort of stuff, and it's all talk, and you've got surgeons saying there's no way she could play. She couldn't put any weight on it between games.
Oh.
And it will cause horrific pain. Oh, even if weight-bearing insoles go differently. And I don't know. I sound like I'm tearing her apart. But if she isn't able to play with that, then if she has issues this coming season and can't play for Chelsea.
Yeah, unfortunately. And this would be like, you can imagine maybe, if because we know she's had issues with her knees over the years, and whether this might be another operation she needs to get, whether it is extended rest. But yeah, it's we just hope she's okay at the end of the day. That's it. That's what we hope. Alid bringing us back though. Imagine complaining you made a final, yet some of us never experienced a point. For Wales.
I'm not complaining about making the final. I'm complaining about one of the players risking their long-term health to do so. Haven't seen the effect
before, man. When we're talking about the Lionesses,
yeah.
No, the Lionesses in general. No, we're whinging about the way they made the final. We're not whinging that they made a final and then they won the trophy. But yeah, as Nessie says, she might have risked next season. And yeah, hopefully she has a good bit of recovery period. But let's focus on the positives, shall we? The Lionesses have done it. Back-to-back European champions. Chloe, I know we said earlier kind of everyone had written them off a little bit because of how they started against France. But when it finally came to it, did you start to believe? Did you start to have that hope, even though it did go to penalties? Did you have that hope that we could do it?
No.
No.
Well, no. I just thought history was going to repeat itself, and Spain are usually a top team. Like they're usually such an unbeatable side. Like their penalties, I was like, everyone's going to go in, and we're not going to do well. But I mean, Hannah Hampton, what a hero. Give that woman a damehood, like, right now. Just skip everything. Give her Dame Hannah Hampton. Just make
straight to a damehood. Yeah,
make her dame.
Because ultimately, I remember Gabby Logan, one of the things she said was, there's no pressure on the goalkeepers now. It's all on the penalty taker. And I was like, well, to an extent, you're right, because the penalty taker has to, can't miss for one thing. But, they've got to get it right. They've got to place it correctly. But ultimately, a goalkeeper's still got to do their job. And whether they've done their homework or whether they're just really on it, in the moment, which way they're going to go. But yeah, Hannah Hampton making those saves was just incredible. And against Aitana Bonmati as well, like not just kind of, your average player, no offense to any of the players, but she is a Ballon d'Or winner. She's, regarded as one of the best in the world. And unfortunately, got her penalty saved by Hannah Hampton. So even at that point,
I was just going to say, I think it was a strange decision taking Alexia Putellas off. Because
yes.
Like I thought.
So I was going to mention Claudia Pina and those subs with her, but yeah. So just quickly while it's relevant, then. So sorry, Sonia. Claudia Pina, who we chose for Spain, scored 2 goals in the quarterfinal, started 2 out of the 3 group games, but then Athenia started instead of her, and then usually they would swap for each other, but then they weren't swapped for each other, and Alexia came off in the final as Pina came on. And you're thinking, well, they're not the same position. Like, what are you doing? So yeah, it was a very strange game management tactic. Do you reckon if Alexia had stayed on, that things might have been a bit different and maybe someone else came off in that instance?
I don't know.
Well,
that's probably like a sliding doors moment, that, isn't it? Like what if Alexia had stayed on? Would the penalty still? Would she have saved Alexia's penalty? Would that have gone in? Would that have been skied? Like, it's tough because even like coming to our penalties, we only had 2 of the 5 who took them against Sweden. Like, we only really had Alex Greenwood and Chloe Kelly to take for penalties. Like, I didn't know who was going to take ours because it was like Georgia Stanway gone off, Lucy Bronze gone off, Lee Williamson obviously missed hers, which it was like, oh no. Like, I was worried about who was going to take them.
I was going to say, can we just have a moment for Beth Mead as well? Because I'm still confused as to how she touched it twice and why she had to retake it. The poor girl slipped. She didn't do a run-up, stop, and then try it again.
Yeah, I was going to say it's because she slipped, wasn't it? Like, she didn't like deliberately do it. Her foot just generally went, and I'm like, that's a bit mean, making her retake it when she generally didn't. Like, it was a genuine accident. She just lost her footing. Like, that was mean.
Yeah. But then, of course, she does take it again and does ultimately miss.
I did enjoy, by the way, the absolute beef that is now going on between Bonmati and Putellas.
Oh,
Like,
go on then, for those who
there
might
is
have missed
full on hashtag drama laminus
it. Drama
going
llama.
on.
Saddle up the
Because
drama llama.
basically, Bon Mati in post game was a bitch. Really,
Yeah,
in
she
in
said
every way,
something along
she
the
was
lines
full
of,
on like we were better, and England are crap, and they just. But that's not how football goes. We deserve to win, but England, it's like scoreboard. What
yeah, it was
Spanish
something along the
scoreboard?
lines of England haven't played well this whole tournament, and it shows that you don't have to play well to win, or something
Yeah.
along those lines, and how they deserve to have won it. But at the end of the day, they didn't score. So
Yeah. It's like hey, Aitana, marcador. That's scoreboard in Spanish, apparently. So, but the girls are fighting indeed, Matthew, because even though they were roommates, they're fighting because Bon Mati was basically trying to blame everybody but herself, and Paredes was also saying, "Oh, everybody was better, and England did deserve to score, and England got lots of luck." One of those bits of luck being Irene Paredes leaving Leslie Russo completely unmarked in the 59th minute to head home, who had a
yeah,
fantastic tournament, by the way, because I know that's what Kerry's after asking
Sorry?
in the group chat. Like,
no, ask about Hannah Hampton.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, go on then. What's the one about
Who
Hampton?
scouted Hannah Hampton for Birmingham?
Oh, God. Yes.
Who scouted Hannah Hampton, Paul?
Kerry has much joy in the fact that the reason Hannah Hampton is at Birmingham is
Was at Birmingham.
Because of
Mark Skinner.
Mark Skinner!
That must have been a day when the polar neck wasn't cutting the blood off to his brain.
I was going to say that's quite a good rational decision there.
Yeah.
What's going on?
It's the exception that proves the rule.
Wow.
But yes, what we're talking about strange decisions, and what we're talking about people who should probably keep their mouths shut. Aitana Bon Mati.
Rude.
No, Bon Mati basically said, like specifically, there was huge drama among Barca fans because she specifically said in an interview with one of the Spanish papers, from the 7th minute, we were the best team. We improved massively from the 70th minute on. Guess what minute Alexia Putellas was substituted?
Was it the 70th?
It was. And apparently they don't like each other much.
That's interesting.
For fans of men's football, there's a Cole and Sheringham thing going on where they barely talk to each other.
Wow. See, that must be it's something I've never noticed. But now I'm going to have to start looking. But as Nessie puts it, Putellas was really absent in that final, and so was Bon Mati, and you can't have both of them not on their game on
and
the same.
also Bon Mati getting player of the tournament when she wasn't even. She was the third best player in her own midfield because Putellas led the tournament in combined goals and assists.
Yes.
And the reason Putellas led the tournament in combined goals and assists is because of Patrick Guijarro doing Patrick Guijarro things. Some of them less than legal. There's Claudia Pina.
Yeah. Should we talk about it? Because Claudia Pina, we've said, how creative she is and how much she brings that Spanish side. Her and Esther together were, the attacking creative force when they were on the pitch. And then you get to Patri, Patri is a very good player. We need to start there. And so she doesn't have to do the things she does. And the one thing in particular we're talking about is the part where Michelle Adjuman barely touches her. Barely.
And the 2.5 backward somersault with twist in the pike position.
Yes, that one. That particular one, yes. And suddenly she's up in the air, flying about as if she's just been completely two-footed.
I mean, she got so high. I'm surprised she didn't warn air traffic control before that dive. It was like,
I was just so confused because obviously I was watching it and I went, "How has she even got that much air? Like, what is she on about?" And then you saw the replay and you were like, "Come on, you can't even pretend to get away with that." But we talked about Stephanie Frappart, how usually very good official, very good.
yeah, we got called out a fair bit during the final.
Yeah,
didn't
we did.
for
People
that?
were like, "Freya, you said she was good. She normally is. She normally is." And someone else, Paulson, there didn't think Frappart had a great game. Yeah, we agree. That wasn't the ref we were expecting. Okay, because we said unfortunately, Spain, they do call for things and they do look to the ref and they do dive. We saw it, evidence. And yeah, we thought that she might be immune to that.
But on the plus side, we need to congratulate Patry and indeed half the Spain squad because they have made history as the first set of players to lose 2 major European finals in a month.
Hey,
Like
yes, of course.
all those. Yeah, we could be bitchy too, Aitana. Like, and it's just. But Patry is Patry is the heartbeat of that Barcelona and Spain midfield.
Yeah, she is so crucial. And there's just no need for it. You don't need to do it. Just because you're frustrated you're not winning and nothing's been created doesn't mean you've got to create fouls. Because all that's going to do is, make a certain fan base even angrier at what's going on. So yeah, especially the way the fouls kept coming against Michelle Adjumang as well. That needs calling out, and we called it out at the time, and we're going to call it out again. There is still
Bias.
that bias there
Unconscious
with
bias.
calls. When she got ran into, and then she got the foul against her, and it was like, how does
Was that Patry as well, or was that Bob Matty?
I can't remember. It was the one where the ball was coming over the top, and Michelle ran into. Was it Olga?
Oh, it probably was because she was flying around like.
She was more in defence, wasn't she? And yeah, they kind of came together, but Olga was obviously defending, so would have gone into her. And yet Michelle got the foul against her, and the free kick went the other way. And it was like, well, she might have got a yellow actually.
Yeah, Michelle Adjumang got a yellow for running into for being run into.
Yeah, that would have been it. Yeah. And you just think, well, that's not true. So where's VAR? Where's your lines person? Who's checking this? And Serena was slightly angry.
I was convinced Spain were going to get a soft penalty. I was waiting for it.
It was that kind of game, wasn't it?
It was that kind of game. More and more.
But thankfully they didn't. And it did end 1-1 after extra time, and then it went to penalties. So we'll just have a quick recap of those penalties then. So Patry stepped up first, 1-0. Beth Mead, as we said, had to retake hers. Unfortunately, it was a miss. Mariona Caldente didn't have the best tournament either. She missed her penalty after missing one previous in the tournament as well. Alex Greenwood scored hers, 1-1. Aitana missed hers / saved, Hannah Hampton. Niamh Charles, we need to talk about Niamh Charles, stepped up, scored, fantastic.
Turned around and just jogged away calmly.
Yeah, just cool and calm as you like.
Which is the perfect antidote to me, I think, telling Aitana Bonmati she could place her Ballon d'Ors somewhere in response to her missing her penalties.
Yes. So
yes, Nancy, there. Now move.
There we go, Nancy. So it was 2-1 to England at this point. Salma Paralluelo also misses. She just drags it wide. Leah Williamson steps up and misses. And you're like, right, okay, if we score this one, and Hannah Hampton was saying to reporters after, I was trying to ask the fans, is this it? Is this the winner? And then Chloe Kelly, saviour once again, steps up and converts. And out of all of the pens, it was 3-1 to England to secure that trophy and bring it home once more. We've already got our merch. Me and Chloe put a merch order in for our European.
We'll wear them next time we're on the pod.
Yeah.
Our merch.
They're on pre-order, so we're not going to get them till the end of August.
That's a scam.
Just in time for the season previews.
Yeah.
We'll rock up in our merch first show back.
No, I did get because it was on special offer on Adidas. I got one of the Italian, not the training ones, but when they're just like around camp and just like the more the leisure wear ones. Got a Italy one of them, so I'll have to wear that next time. So yeah,
I'd like to apologise, by the way, for everybody seeing a cat's ass on my screen.
Again.
Well, you have frozen on mine, so it is literally just the cat's ass. Yeah.
There we go. Now she's moved.
There we go. Now she's moved. So yes, I mean, overall, the tournament for the Lionesses that we didn't want with the performance, if that sounds right, if that makes sense. But the fact that they did it and they kept going and they kept fighting, and even in those dying minutes when we did finally get an equaliser, we did get back into the game. We thought, can we? And it was that hope that got us through. Unfortunately, Matt, it's not a t-shirt saying the first time was so nice we had to do it twice, as Chloe Kelly iconically said. But definitely,
I am amused that the Spanish, by the way, were incredibly annoyed at Chloe Kelly deciding to run across Katakoi. Apparently she did this on purpose. And did the calm down celebration.
Well, Katakoi was doing a strange drinking tea thing, I think. And it just, no love. Didn't work. Did not work.
But it has amused me how Chloe Kelly has been being put up as an amazing example and a contrast to the arrogant men's players like Marcus Rashford. It's like, sorry, is this the same Chloe Kelly who forced a move out of her club because she was unhappy, celebrates in the faces of opposition for every goal she scores, and openly mocked the opposition every time England won a game? And you're saying, sorry, if Marcus Rashford did that, or indeed, let's be honest, any player of colour, the writing, if Michelle Adjumang behaved like Chloe Kelly, the coverage would be very different.
Well, a lot of people are saying she's, because she did swear on live telly, that apparently, that's not befitting of the women's game and you should, watch yourself and all this. And it's just like, she was excited. It's fine. So yeah, there's lots of different media interpretations right now around her, but ultimately she scored the winning penalty. So if she wants to wind up the opposition, she gets the go ahead from me.
She's just winning the Euro. She can swear on telly if she wants.
Yeah, do what she wants. She does what she wants. Chloe tried to do an Alex Morgan. Yeah, she tried to do a tea thing and it just didn't.
At what point? What, after she saved one of the penalties?
Yeah. And it was just a bit embarrassing, really.
Well, I remember you saying during the game, just Katakoi's really unlikable.
Just really unlikable. That was the moment where she did that. And I was like, no, you are currently losing. So can we not?
I remember when I put that, I had a reply from someone going, like one of the English people watching going, do you know how you come across? I'm like, yeah, still better than I tell her.
yeah. And it's funny because it's true. But yes, I think it was saving Beth Mead's second penalty. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because she thought she was really clever saving that penalty.
Yeah,
like she's a goalkeeper or something. But yeah, as Paul Wright says, if you can't take it, don't dish it out. Yes.
You can't take it, don't dish it out. Aye.
Yeah, which is what we love. Now, so we've got through them all. We've got through our ones to watch. How they did the tournament. I was going to say bless you, but that wouldn't work because it was a cough. And we've also talked about all of the teams and how they did during this tournament. We've talked about a couple of our favourite moments. And again, in the chat, put your favourite moment in there because we want to hear from you as well. But Chloe, Paul, we talked about Anne Katchenberger's save. That was phenomenal. Chloe, for you, is there another standout moment for whatever reason from this tournament that you want to share?
Lucy Bronze dropping her own thigh. No, I'm joking.
She wasn't joking, Rita. She was not joking.
I was not. I say I was, but I really was not. What did I put in my notes up? I made a note.
I got the sense online that appealed to a particular demographic.
Of course it did. That's why it's the most viewed video.
No, I think my favorite moment of the tournament was just the history that's been made throughout it. Like I did mention it before, but
yeah,
just how much history was made, with Italy, England, Wales, Switzerland, like a piece of history has fully been made throughout this tournament. And I think just that and just everything growing and on a funnier level of a Sonkin shuffle. That
yes, Danny put that in the chat as well as one of his favorites. The Sonchin shuffle. Yes.
So good.
Iconic moment from the Italian manager. Yes, absolutely.
Still hasn't called that first.
He's still waiting outside a stadium somewhere in Basel. Just wait, looking around. Paulson, yeah, every Hannah Hampton penalty save was his. Nessison, I'll admit, when Michelle scored the equaliser, I cheered.
For a proud Irish woman to cheer when an English woman scores.
Just shows you. Yes, Matt said we had Basel in Basel. Yes,
Incredible.
Absolutely. Inception. And yeah, definitely a breakthrough tournament on many levels. Paul, for you, was there any other outstanding moments that you want to share?
I enjoyed Cristiano Di Relli scoring the winner against Norway.
Yeah. The 90th minute.
I particularly enjoyed the Italian commentary because Italian's brilliant anyway.
Yeah.
And it's just the way her name holds out because it's like Cantore and then presumably the Italian for crosses the ball in or whatever, and then just Di Relli like this and just holding the end of it for about 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah. Not being able to believe what's just happened, what's
Which
just
is
gone
also
in.
funny because Jonathan Pearce tried the same thing and managed to pronounce her name wrong. He was like, Di Relli! And it was like...
So, no.
No.
E sound.
There's an E there for a reason.
Yeah. It's just... Yeah,
but also, one of my favourite moments as well, in terms of discovering players, new players... Firstly, all the new players we discovered, we've mentioned some of them who stepped up, the young players like Imran Benet and Signe Gopset. But my favourite player discovery, who I was slightly less aware of, having not seen much of Serie A domestically, was my new Italian footballing crush. Now, Valentina Giacinti has left Roma with the most passive-aggressive farewell ever.
Thanks.
I was going to get this in there. Just thanks, Valentina. Just that's it. So whoever you're going to sign for London City Lionesses, and they're just going to have a big thumbs up emoji. That'll be it. Sign Valentina. Welcome, Valentina. That'll be it. I've manifested that she will join London City.
Apparently, she's going to the Saudi Pro League.
Oh, so she wants a few quid then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Apparently they've given her an offer, and apparently she's accepted it. This is just on the grapevine, of course. Nothing official.
Well, that's you and me over, Valentina. It It was a beautiful footballing crush while it lasted. But me and you are band now, and also in Italy, and this, like I say, was one of the favourite moments. Discovering Emma Severini existed.
Yes.
Because what a player!
What a
And
player.
he's what, 22? And one of the things I love doing is discovering new players who you can rave about and who make me want to watch the leagues they play in more and make me want to watch the team more. And Emma Severini is definitely one of those.
Yeah, 100%. And she's playing for Fiorentina. She's 22, so lots of years ahead of her to keep on growing, and that's the scary thing with some of these players. They're only going to keep getting better. But yeah, there's so many players that kind of came to light, and what my kind of favorite moment off the pitch was the fact that everyone came together in the chat and everyone was watching it with us, and everyone was discovering new players and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to watch that league now. What team do they play for?" And people were getting so into it because we were able to bring everyone together and have that chat.
I thought that went without saying because I had this thing, and it sounds like we're boasting about ourselves, but the achievement that everyone created, including the people in the chat as well.
Yes, absolutely. Just a community feel, that we can all just pop on and go, I'll watch the game with a gang. Like, I'll watch the game with a pod.
That final, the memories of that final will forever be that penalty going in, and then Chloe coming on, and Danny coming on, and Rosie filming Box Park and not being able to hear us because of the noise. And of course, sat here now and joking about it, and Chloe just bringing vibes.
Yeah.
Pure vibes.
Just pure vibes.
Yeah, different vibes.
I'm having a great time.
And that's it. We've all brought, so many different things to it, and just different emotions and different experiences. And we've all kind of had players that have gone, oh, watch out for this one, and watch out for, and we've been able to share that together. And that's been.
And also a really silly one that happened in the group chat. Obviously, watching it with all you guys, but in the group chat that we have, where Danny on the day of the final was like, I've just gone for a walk on the beach and there's a bunch of kids pretending to be Chloe Kelly and Michelle Adjumé.
Yeah, that's special. Yeah, I love that. And it just shows that people do watch women's football. It is important, it is special, and what an incredible tournament that we've had. Yes, there is a rumour Linari is going to be joining London City though.
Oh, don't, Elena.
Don't
join an actual football team, not a franchise.
And of course,
I know, but I know you and I have talked and agreed that Michelle Kang has taken it over, and it is a soulless robotic machine. It's a Death Star of a football team.
Well, they've announced their pre-season fixtures. They will be facing Lyon.
Are they?
Lyon. Yeah.
How did Michelle Kang get that to happen?
That's amazing. That's amazing negotiation from Olympic Lyon's owner Michelle Kang.
How did she get it to happen?
Lionesses. It's the Lyonnais versus
Lyon.
She should have brought them to Bromley so 3 people could have turned up.
We don't. So it's. But yeah, hey, that preseason, but that's going to push them because they've brought a lot of new people into this team. So she must have used a Sith mind trick. I
hope Leon absolutely hammer them. I hope Leon put their full squad out.
I'm interested to see what they do. Because it's not
destroy them.
I mean, there's that. But also, it's a completely new side. It's not London City anymore, is it? Because they've brought so many new signings in and they've let so many players go. I'm interested to see what they look like. Because it's not London City. It's not. I think a lot of teams are going to come back this season, especially Everton, who's got a whole new bench.
Hell yeah, we do. 8 signings and more to come, boy.
But at least Everton have a soul because,
yeah, we've got our Bright.
Firstly, they've got
Albright.
Bright, and secondly, the players who've been signed are all relatable because they're players who are being signed and being given a chance to take the next step in the career, or they are being given a chance to redeem their career, one might say. For example, Maz Pacheco.
Maz. Sorry.
Whereas
they
Leo,
all fit, don't they? They all fit Everton. It's not just being a signing for the sake of it.
whereas London City are going, right, okay, let's get the next level of players. Izzy Goodwin's going to be, shut up, Nancy, shut off. See, Nancy has very strong views about London City. And she won't go away. But, yeah, Izzy Goodwin.
Just saying from Nessa, LCR left at Swollen Princess Park.
If Ness is saying that as the only recorded example of an actual London City Lionesses fan, then that's the case. But like, Izzy Goodwin scored 16 goals for them last season, and she's already been pushed to the bench because of the players who have been, because Nikita Paris is being brought in.
Because now got Paris now, it's
in the latest attempt to play for every single WSL club.
Well, yeah, and now we know, of course, how the opening fixture is Arsenal versus London City.
Ooh, shocker!
Michelle Kang has got the highest profile fixture for the first game in the WSL that's going to be on Sky.
It's all right. It could be worse. Could have a Merseyside derby first.
Yeah, that's
which should be on Sky because it's an actual game.
Fuck, that's all about.
It's a
proper game.
It's a proper game. It's a proper fixture with actual history. It's not It's not blonde ponytail FC versus soulless franchise FC.
Yeah, but we're always really bad at the start of the season. Like, it takes us at least 5 games to actually start. But also, I'm a little bit worried about us when it comes to the Asian Cup because we now have so many Japanese players that we are going to lose. We're not going to have any players anymore. We signed so many, and then we're going to lose them all at the Asian Cup.
If you sign any more Japanese players, you're going to have to come onto the Pokemon theme.
Oh my god! Imagine the Siren and then Pokemon.
Just Anime FC.
Oi.
Gary doesn't like it. Yeah, that's true. At least Liverpool don't have to travel to London for a 12 o'clock kickoff. This is the thing, and this is what we said in the group chat as well. Sunday trains are notoriously awful.
Awful.
How are we going to get there for 12 o'clock? No. Unless you drive. Or unless you go the night before. Like,
or stuff at like ridiculous o'clock in the morning. Like, because that's press.
I was going to say, for us doing press, you need to get there before your accreditation.
We've got to be there like at least 2 hours early as press. So that's like 10 a.m. And sometimes it's even earlier if it's a big game. You want to get like all your content and stuff. Like, if you're going to Man City, you at least want to get to the sweet cart first before.
Like, because of course here at the Joy Stadium they have the best food there at the Joy Stadium.
Got a sweet cart.
So we're here for. You have to do the content. We're here at the sweet cart at the Joy Stadium.
That's why it's the Joy Stadium. It brings us joy because there are sweets.
Delighted to be having lemon pasties at the Joy Stadium here at 10 a.m. provided by Joy and Etihad.
No, but as press, you have got to be there like at least 2 hours early for accreditation for this, that, and the other, and it's just like how are you? Get your seat, get the best seats if there's no seating plan.
The thing that annoyed me the most is I got to do the Subway Cup final, and they didn't even get 6 inches. Never mind footlongs. They were all cut into like little things. I'm like, if I'm going to a
sub bites.
That's it. If I'm going to watch the Sub Cup, I want at least a 6-incher. You know, that's what's going on. That's what I'm coming away with. It's past the watershed now, isn't it? I can get
Love
over
that. That's your take for the evening.
The watershed's not.
Like,
not
I
That's-
just
that's-
don't know how
you know,
that's
that-
possible to get there for 10 or 12. It's ridiculous.
Because, as I also said in our group chat, my village doesn't even have buses on a Sunday. So, thankfully, I drive. But if I didn't, I'd just be sitting at home.
No, but I
hoping.
prefer 12 o'clock or 6:45.
Just two.
That's your face.
The
12 o'clock or
silence then.
6:45.
I mean, yeah, 2 o'clock is perfect, but
I mean,
we
Oh,
6:45.
we just accessing her in a TikToker there. I wonder when
That's
it
the
was
thing, it's-
12 o'clock or 6:45.
would
And
we
in
like
fact,
this?
everyone in the chat reply to it. What would you prefer? Early 12 o'clock or a 6:45?
Or
Because
2 o'clock.
It's on a
Like,
Sunday.
well, they haven't chosen 2 o'clock, have they? Because they hate us.
Or the Friday night.
Friday night under the lights. Hey, Chelsea, Man City, Stamford Bridge. That's Friday night under the lights, opening day.
Yeah.
Because of course it's opening weekend. Can't just be a day. It's an opening weekend.
woo!
Chloe Sarah's
where
standing
did
good
we
as
go for Jerry
No,
Anderson
it's
just
actually
then?
not sweets. There's no sweets at Goodison. There was really nice pie though, and I got a brew, which is nice. I might just start a TikTok about food I get at WSL Crowds. Like that, 40 scran. I just do on my Talking Balls account, I might just do 40 scran.
Woso Scran.
Woso scran, what am I eating today?
Come and join me at the press box.
Chloe's diet. You know, like the old fascio thing. Jessie's diet. You could just have Chloe at the front door of a football ground, like at Goodison. It'd be anywhere that says like the big thing. But she just walks towards the camera outside Old Trafford and goes, "This week I have been mostly eating sausage rolls. At Man United, they mostly sell us sausage rolls." Like,
Or just do a complete Philomena Kunk, just take the mick out of it.
Yes!
Full ham with it.
oh, you could make up stuff like there were sausage rolls at Manchester United. Sausage rolls were, of course, invented in Manchester in 1987 for people to eat after they went to the hacienda and were too stoned on ket to eat in the just really make something properly.
That'd be so funny.
Oh, I need to go watch Philomena Kunk now. Now,
Let's watch it now.
the last thing we said we wanted to do after sharing our favourite moments, I'm going to sneeze. Hang on.
Wait for it.
One more.
Bless you.
Tiny.
Oh,
3, 2, 1.
Oh, you know when
I'm
it's
going to
stuck?
sneeze in about 3 seconds now.
Oh,
I'm going to
God.
sneeze.
You know when it's stuck? Oh, awful. Right.
Can we just get that sound? Can we just go, you know when it's stuck? And just leave it and just
Oh, we're so close to being done.
that's a reaction clip. But yes.
Go to sleep.
Okay,
Okay,
we'll go back and talk about Alan's moment of the tournament of hearing the Welsh anthem for the first and the second time at a major tournament.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, I completely missed that. It's because you lot are lovely and you keep talking in the chat. So I keep missing things. Hang on. Okay, yes. So, one, being present in the ground and hearing the anthem on opening game. Yes. Being there to bear witness our first ever tournament goal in our history. Yes, Alex. Yes, absolutely.
And I also love Matt saying, "I'm so excited for London City versus Arsenal. It's a match I hope both teams lose." Speaking for all of the WSL fan base there that aren't London City.
For the first time ever, wouldn't it be really good if, instead of just on scoring goals, there was bonus points for effort and skill? Because Villa last season, everyone was like, "Oh, but you're playing so well, you just can't win." Imagine getting bonus points for actual effort. And then I was going to be really shady there. If Spain really did deserve to win, then they would have got more points.
Imagine having a reverse handicap system based on how much money you'd spend. So, Chelsea, based on the value of the team you put out. So, London City would start on -14 So
Yeah, for how much?
you're good enough. You
Ooh.
spend that much money, you'll just buy your way out of it.
Well, exactly. I just want to say this point before I forget. And I think that I love that clubs have leaned into come and, season tickets on sale now. Come and see your Lionesses. I know City have really pushed it for their players. Chelsea have done it. Arsenal are doing it. Why aren't clubs leaning into, we have internationals in our squad. If you love the Euros, come and see our international players. Because Aston bloody Villa, if anyone's watching from this club, we've just signed Lynn Vilms from Wolfsburg. And there has been no mention. Again, we've talked about Netherlands not having a great tournament, but she's still an international player for the Netherlands. And nothing. There's been no attempt whatsoever to say, and Chastity Grant as well. We've got Chastity to say, come on and look at our
Come and
team.
watch these players who impressed at the Euros.
Yeah.
Come and watch Switzerland's heroine Geraldine Reuteler from one of the teams in the WSL. Inevitably sign her.
Yeah.
We've got Hannah Knight who makes history with Wales, and come watch her at our new home at Goodison Park. A historic ground as well, might I add.
There are so many missed opportunities that I just wish clubs would lean into. And yeah, I 100% with Nessie on that one. Clubs are terrible at issuing proper press releases. Yes, some clubs, me and Chloe were talking about this, haven't said anything about preseason. Interesting one. Some fans, because Villa finally released theirs after being tagged in other clubs and stuff. And they were like, oh, what's the point in telling us about preseason games if we're not allowed to go to them? And I was like, because it shows you what your club are planning and what preparation they're putting in for the summer. Like, what? Why is that a question? But yeah, but you can get tickets for Villa versus Union Berlin, which is going to be at, are you ready? The Bescott is no longer the Poundland Bescott. We have a new sponsor. It's even worse. The Pallet Track Bescott Stadium.
The Pallet Track Bescott Stadium.
The Pallet Track Bescott Stadium. Doesn't even roll off the tongue. At least Poundland Bescott.
It could be worse. It could be playing at Accrington Stanley. It could be the Wham Stadium. Don't fall asleep there because they wake you up before you go.
It's clear where my brain's at. I went for Wham, the chewy bar. Did we talk about it? No, Matt, we haven't talked about it because I'm still quite annoyed by that.
We'll save that for the championship preview. We've got a half hour booked in for Freya to talk about that one.
Just
4 hour preview and 3.5 is Freya talking about Jordan Nobbs, and then the rest of us have to fit 12 teams into the other half hour.
No, I don't get it. I do get it. They've probably offered her a lot of money. I wish she hadn't. Why? Sunderland, where she started, are putting money into, it would make sense for her to go back to Sunderland. But she clearly, no, I don't know. I'm just a bit annoyed. And I'm still annoyed, so I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to breathe first. Anyway, the last thing we were going to do today, and again, please, if you're in the chat and you want to get involved, please do put them down. Who's going to be in our team of the tournament? Okay. So I do have up on the other screen where we can put in players. I'll just check it is working. Yes. So, for example, I'll share my screen with you all, and then we can do it all together.
Speed run, because we're longer than a game here now.
Okay. So, just to check if it was working, I've just put Drelly in that role there. So
we're playing 4-3-3 then.
We can change it. We don't have to. We'll play what we want. We could always start with 4-3-3 and then see how we go.
Yeah, that works.
That works. Okay. Do we have a goalkeeper?
Berger and Hampton. Pick one.
Berger and Hampton. I might go for Berger.
Yeah, I'd say that purely based on that save.
I think we should go for Berger because I think lioness bias for Hampton, and we need to be vigilant about that.
We do, and we can admit Hannah Hampton had a cracking tournament, but I think there's no bias in saying Berger had a slightly better one.
Berger made one of the greatest saves of all time, and that's what puts her over the top.
Yes. Now we'll open it out. You can give me any forwards, midfielders, defence that you think. As Alan says, yeah, Berger has to be on it. Berger's in. The Berger's in. We're cooking our tea and the Berger's in. Right.
Nadine Meeson at left back.
Ooh. Meeson. Yep.
Lucy Bronze will always.
Now, where do we put Lucy Bronze? Because she's technically a right back, but
That is a very good question. Could always move her.
Okay.
Elena Linari.
Oh, gotta be, yes, shout. There we go.
Matt says Natalie Bjorn.
Mm.
Oh, miss her.
See, the trouble is if you go late into the tournament, if you go like, okay, semi-finals, would you really put any England defenders in team of the tournament that aren't Lucy Bronze?
That's the thing. I was leaning towards De Almeida for that last defender.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Chloe, are you happy with that, De Almeida?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay, so we've got our defenders. Right, midfield and forwards.
Roytela.
Roytela got brought up. Where we're putting her?
Middle of the three.
All right, bang in the middle. Geraldine. There's only 2 Geraldines on FootMob. That's interesting. Okay, there we go. Right, so Roytela had to be Roytela. Okay, who else? I mean, could we do? I think Esther's got to be up there in our forwards.
Yeah, she's been good.
Esther Angielli.
Yeah, should we do that up top?
Because I think you can't only play one striker. So Esther Angielli.
Yeah. So I'll just put Girelli here for now. And then
See, I was gonna go Russo because of like all those assists and type
in one
thing.
game.
Well, she also got 2 goals.
Assists
got
in
a
one
pen.
game, a couple of goals.
I truthfully would probably put Adjumang in over Russo.
Banging.
But I also think that's lioness bias.
Oh, 100% it is. Salvi had a good tournament. Could put Newskin did play well. Eula Brand has to be in there. Brand. Should we put Eula Brand?
Are we putting Patry in? Or are we not because we don't like the shithousery?
She's such a good player though. It's so let's put her in. Patricia. Yeah. Okay, so we need one more forward. Josh has put Chloe Kelly.
Sure.
In the start to start? No. In this team she'd play a super sub as well.
Yeah, that's true. Let's have a think. Anton saying Kelly has to be in. Has to be.
Well, 2 shouts for Kelly. That's.
I know indeed. So if we're just looking for results, let's say, if we look at goals, it was Esther, Puteas, Girelli, and we have 2 of those 3. Assists, Alexia, Russo, and Aslani for assists.
You could probably argue if you've got Voitilov in there, you could swap Giharo for Pateas.
Yeah, we can do that.
You've got Voitilov as the holding midfielder, and then you've got Pateas as assist leader.
As out, yeah. Ooh, wrong one.
That's a hell of a midfield.
That's I'd pay good money for that midfield if I was Michelle Kang. I would totally do that. Okay, so we've had a couple of shouts for Chloe Kelly.
Never Nessie. Onabachi's name will never be pronounced properly.
It's so funny how everyone pronounces it so wrong and so different. Like, do you remember when she was at United and they kept calling her Battle?
Battle, yeah, on a battle.
Like when she's at United, they just kept going, "Oh yeah, on a battle." And it's like that's not her name at all.
Why don't we solve the problem by having another midfielder instead of three forwards?
Okay, and just having a two up top,
and just having the best two forwards in the competition, Givelli and Esther, up front. Although Givelli and Esther are very similar, but they're also the two best in the tournament. So,
but they're also the two we like. Okay, so an extra midfield then. Who we're gonna go? I think. Why is it now all of the players have just gone completely out of my head when I had so many ideas coming into this?
Gopset, but a young player.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Signe. Perfect. Right, so in defense, we've got Reeson, De Almeida, Lunari, and Bruns. In midfield, we've got Brand, Reutler, Puteas, and Gubset. And up front, we've got Girelli and Gonzalez. That's a pretty good team for me. Are we happy?
Yeah.
Yeah? Any changes we'd make? Apart from on a badger, of course.
Puteas is in there based on statistics, but you can't argue against the person who probably should have been player of the tournament.
No, because even though Anton's in there, Puteas disappeared after the group stages, getting a lot of criticism. She was still one of those key players that unfortunately when she did go off, you did kind of feel that difference, didn't you? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one. A pretty good one indeed. So what we'll do, we'll get that up on socials and we'll get it shared, and you can let us know your thoughts. Evening to Rosie. Is it not your bedtime, guys? Hey, we were picking a team of the tournament, Rosie. You missed it. And yes, I was going to say this earlier. I don't know if I mentioned it. Reutler possibly going to Lyon. Rumors from our good friend Donna that a French club is putting their bid forward for her, which we said is fantastic. But yeah, just not London City. No WSL clubs, allegedly, according to our Donna. But either, I think it was PSG and Lyon have both expressed interest. So we shall see. And that was the final thing we wanted to go through. So yes, Rosie, don't worry, we will be going to bed very shortly. Now, before we wrap up, Chloe, Paul, are there any other moments or players or anything in particular that we haven't mentioned that you wanted to shout out before we go?
I think we've got everybody.
I think we've done a damn good job, if I do say so myself. We have covered
every team.
Every team, all the players, all of the key moments, and everything that's made this tournament incredibly special. And we just want to say a massive thank you for everyone who's joined us for all of the live watch-alongs. We even had a listener along for one game as well, didn't we? And just everyone who's shared their opinions with us, shared their time with us, and left us some fantastic comments. We absolutely love it, and we appreciate it so much. All of this Euros coverage was in partnership with the Whole 115 Yards. And I have got a transfer tracker on our website, which is thewhole115yards.com. So everything that you need to know from the WSL and WSL2 is on that tracker, apart from today's, because I've been out. But apart from today's, everything else is up to date. Any new contracts, and transfers, ins, outs, loans, everything like that. Because ahead of this new season, because this was the final of our Euros coverage, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Now, we are taking a little break now, so everyone can get some well-earned sleep for the next couple of weeks. But we will be back very soon with pre-season previews for the WSL, WSL2, might even do a European one, might even go wild. But we will be back, don't worry, towards the end of August, because our WSL begins on September the 5th, so very early in September. And we've also got, I'll just double check it because it's gone off the top of my head, the WSL2 fixtures for this year are also that same weekend. Okay, the 5th to the 7th. I was working out that was a Friday, Monday. So the 5th to the 7th of September for the WSL and WSL2, both starting at the same time. So incredibly exciting stuff. So yes, so we'll be taking a little break, but do remember to like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do across all socials to stay up to date. We are at Absolute Football Pod at pretty much everything. You can find us on our personal handles here under our names. And what another night it has been. So yeah, thank you to Chloe and Paul for joining me this evening. And hopefully you've all learnt about new and upcoming players, new countries, new leagues that you want to watch because of this. And we really hope that you join us in the brand new season for our WSL, WSL2, and everything else coverage that we can possibly squeeze into these few hours on a Wednesday night. So Wednesday at 8:30, we will be back very, very soon. But as I said, keep an eye out on socials to tell you exactly when we will be back. So thank you very much. Good evening, everyone, and good night. Goodbye.